Hi, this is Michael Buffer, and you're listening to the voice of the people. Let's get ready for Boxing Voice.
If you having girl problems, I feel bad for you, son. I'm standing at a table full of boxingvoice.com. I'm standing at a table full of robbers. Trust me, nigga, you don't want no problem. You gon' make them choppers blocker, yeah. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', nigga. If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', If you ain't got no haters, you ain't poppin', nigga. I got the rap patrol on the cat patrol. Foes that want to make sure my casket's closed. Rap critics say he's money cash holes. I'm from the hood, stupid. What type of facts are those? At the time, it never bothered me. At the bar,
getting my thug on probably. Lack of respect for authority. Happy to be escaping poverty. Yeah. We back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another edition of the Boxing Voice Radio. I am your host, Nestor Gibbs. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. We're back. And we're going to talk the heavyweight division. Anthony Joshua definitely has shaken things up. And we're going to give you the details on the aftermath. What direction does he go? So many to discuss. Is there a possible rematch with Wladimir Klitschko, or is there the Tyson Fury fight for the undisputed lineal championship? Or is it a unification with the WBC champion Deontay Wilder? And the internet has gone crazy because of the polls in the form of the knockout that he took care of Mr. Klitschko. They're comparing him to Muhammad Ali. All you have to do is have an Instagram and hashtag Anthony Joshua Ali, and you'll see the side-by-side comparisons, infamous photos. They're calling him the billion-dollar fighter, the new kid on the block, boxing's new face. This is something we're going to talk about. If you're interested in this, well, then you know the number to call in. That's 1-425-569-5241. Press 1. One time. Voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline right here. Our international callers, you can add us simply by adding Nestor Gibbs on Skype. That's NESTORGIBBS. Let me head on out to my co-host, going out to the Garden State right here in New Jersey.
What's up, man? Yeah, I just want to say I saw a fight too.
Stay focused, stay working my dad.
I saw a fight too.
Because if you come to fight, then I'm going to look for it.
I saw a fight too.
I think you're accurate.
You heard Michael Buffer, the voice of the people. Indeed, the haters too, former members. We don't discriminate. Let's talk Anthony Joshua possibilities, vulnerabilities. The road to Joshua is here. You know, the heavyweight division is put on notice last night. As I like to say, last night we saw something incredible. So, yo, let's take it to LA, California, wherever you at.
LA, big city of dreams, but everything in LA ain't always what it seems.
Bang, bang.
Wladimir production.
This is a beautiful performance against a very tough guy in Michael Johnson. How do you feel about it?
Fuck that. Conor McGregor.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
You know me, Larry. From a wicked entrance, from a flip over the rock into a knockout.
When the main thing is,
I just know the guy. I wish.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yes, the hipster is here. Haters beware. We had a night of remembrance, last night. We had one that we will probably talk about for some time. One that if Joshua keeps winning, if Joshua continues to be successful, is the start of a true legacy that we can harken back to and talk about. This was the start of the next heavyweight era in boxing, was this moment. And I know that many people will call in saying that, no, Tyson Fury was the first one to beat him. But just look at the reaction from just the boxing community, the world outside of that community when it came to this fight compared to the Tyson Fury Klitschko fight. And yes, one guy beat him first, but one is just so much bigger and so hard to fathom how big this really is when you have comparisons of Joshua and Ali. So much to get into, what's next for both these guys. Can't wait to chop it up with you, the host, and the callers.
Well, I mean, don't be afraid to say it. One guy beat him first. One guy beat him better. bottom line,
beat him.
Even with Joshua going down and suffering a bit of adversity, in my opinion, he still had the better win. He made it way more exciting, that's for sure. He pushed Wladimir to limits that we hadn't seen, and he showed us things that we wanted. He gave us everything in one fight. Because had he gone in there and blown this guy out in 5 rounds like most of our callers picked, we would have been saying Wladimir was old.
Yes, indeed. So that's what I was about to say, and vice versa. Wladimir also pushed it to the limits for AJ. So we saw the best of AJ, you know. So we saw his mistakes, and that's why a lot of people are like, "Yo, can he handle that?" If Deontay Wilder brought that A game, so yeah, it was a hell of a matchup.
You're the casual fan on the panel. Right. You seen Wladimir Klitschko in the 6th round land that right hand to send Anthony Joshua straight down to the canvas. He even followed up with a short left kind of lunging uppercut, almost hook that wasn't necessary.
Okay,
how do you see Wilder throwing and landing that punch? What would be the difference in your opinion?
Well, I think first, before even adding Wilder to it, I would say that was the survival that Wladimir brought in the 5th round from his knockdown gassed AJ out, Anthony Joshua, that is. So when the 6th round began, you know, he still was empty on the tank, never recovered from, you know, being gassed out in between rounds. If that would have happened to him against Wilder, I see that I think he'll be smarter though, by the way. But if that were to happen to him against Wilder, I don't see him coming back after the 6th round.
Well, we're here to talk about, obviously, Anthony Joshua, the aftermath of what took place last night versus Wladimir Klitschko, him being now the unified IBO, WBA, and IBF champion, and his top 5 options. So first and foremost, Matt, the first thing we have to discuss and get out of the way when speaking about this is the rematch. There is a rematch clause. Wladimir does have one. He can exercise it. So that is at the top of the list. He either is going to have to pay Wladimir step-aside money to do a voluntary defense while Wladimir maybe heals. He was cut severely. It looked like 2 lashes on his left eyelid, right? So maybe he needs more time. Maybe Joshua can do a quick turnaround and force the rematch not to happen immediately. So outside of that, the order I would like for me as a boxing fan, and then I would like your order, and then we will discuss all the options and the details. I say rematch because that is the law. That is what has to happen. Get that out of the way. If no rematch, unification with Deontay Wilder. He is the biggest American heavyweight out there. I know there was a lot of talk about, oh, Wilder isn't known, but does he have to be known, Enrique and Matt? I ask you, when you're talking about the UK and America, it's a rivalry that dates back. I mean, take a look at our chat, for God's sakes. The UK can't stand us. So Wilder doesn't have to be known. It's enough that he has the WBC title and he's American, in my opinion. Option number 3 would be obviously his WBA mandatory in Luis Ortiz. Option number 4 would be his IBF mandatory in Kubrat Pulev. Now, hence why I said Wilder first, because all sanctioning bodies would agree to a unification, and those mandatories probably can be pushed aside. Why? Because unifications supersede everything. So we were on option number 4 being Pulev. Option number 5, obviously, is Joseph Parker when he gets past the tune-up that he's taking now in Kazun or Razvan, you know, whatever. The guy from about 3 years ago that Andres Fedosov knocked out. We had him on the show if you want to check out an interview with him. Those are his top 5 options. I know there's another one maybe floating out there. Matt, give me your order, and if I left out one,
well,
maybe
you left out the guy, Tyson Fury. You left out the shark, the whale.
And, you know, I know that people are gonna say, "Oh, Ness, you're just biased. You don't want to see Fury." But you know what? That's how irrelevant this guy is. The last time we did a show, we said he's always stealing the spotlight, tweeting at the right time. And that's what he's doing here now, saying, hey, I'll take care of this weightlifting bum. And you know, I'm not 41, but you're not in the ring. We don't know when you're going to get in the ring. You don't have a date when you're going to get in the ring. So Tyson Fury to me is not an option, but that will be option 5 or 6, whatever he ended up falling in. Obviously, to the rest of the world, he is an option because he holds that lineal title that, you know, says he's the man to beat the man. But Matt, again, I ask you, your order.
I mean, I'll be honest. I don't really want to see the rematch. I think in terms of what is right, if Klitschko wants to rematch, he doesn't want to take step-aside money, that is the fight to make next because that is in the contract. Now, in my personal opinion, I don't think Klitschko is coming back. I think Klitschko just made $20 million. He's done. I think he's done. But if we have to put him on the list, I'm going to have him number 1 just because of that contract. Second, Deontay Wilder, of course. I think that unification is the biggest fight outside of Klitschko. Third, along with Younes, is Luis Ortiz. I think Luis Ortiz is the next best heavyweight outside of Joshua, Klitschko, and Wilder, and maybe better than all 3. We just don't know. And then, you know, we have Pulev, Tyson Fury, and Joseph Parker next. I would say, personally, I would rather see Tyson Fury fight Anthony Joshua over Joseph Parker, just because I think Joseph Parker is probably going to take a loss at some point before that fight ever happens. Tyson Fury just seems like a bigger fight. It means more. It is the fight with the lineal champion of the heavyweight division against the biggest star of the heavyweight division. You know, nothing really gets bigger than that, in my opinion, in the sport. Plus, it's a UK versus UK showdown. And then, I think Pulev is at the very end of the list. You know, I think he is an afterthought, and it's going to be very interesting because he is the IBF mandatory. So if that fight doesn't happen, what would the IBF do? Would they strip Anthony Joshua of the belt like they did Tyson Fury when he wouldn't fight, I forget his name, the guy that Charles Martin beat by injury? You know, I don't know. I think there's a lot of interesting things that are going to happen next. But that's my list. I think it's Klitschko, Wilder, Ortiz, and then everyone else.
Enrique, a.k.a. the casual fan. What would the casual fan's perspective like to see the young Anthony Joshua do next?
Yo, before I even answer that, I want to say that the heavyweight division is on notice. We went over 250,000 views last night's show on the reaction, and we need some thumbs up. Right now, we have under 400, really close, but we only got 71 likes, and we need that to go upwards like the heavyweight division is in our face. So,
in other words, if you're enjoying what you're hearing, hit that thumbs up to let us all know that you appreciate it.
Right, and we say that with all humbleness, and please hit the thumbs up button and the notification. But Deontay Wilder somewhere smiling because ultimately he will be facing the King of Britain, right? The $1 million kid that they call him. The order, I'm on the outside looking in. So a lot of fans, not all, some were saying he was exposed last night. They saw the vulnerabilities because he was hurt.
Who was exposed exactly last night?
Anthony Joshua.
And who was saying this? What feed are you following?
I'm following the callers yesterday.
Come on, we all saw that. We all saw that he got exposed, that he got knocked down.
He fought a legend, and that's fine. He won still, ultimately, in awesome fashion. He wasn't like a bum fashion like Fury. But the heavyweight division, right? Options witnessed. I would like him to shut up Tyson Fury. I wouldn't mind that being number 1 if Klitschko were to take step aside money. I don't think Wilder should be immediately because Wilder is going to be the one at the very end if he knocks down every fighter that we have listed. I think after Tyson Fury, he should go again, keep it in England and fight Joseph Parker, who I know very little of. But I don't see him making as much noise as a Wilder, meaning like hitting headlines, hitting the internet on Instagram as Wilder is doing. Luis Ortiz has a couple drum rolls going, and we should see that being number 2 after Fury. Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker. Ultimately on the AJ freeway, full speed ahead. Get out the way. Deontay Wilder, that'll be the biggest heavyweight fight. And if he were to be victorious, one of them can be compared to the Muhammad Ali himself, the great late Muhammad Ali. Right now, the closest to Muhammad Ali, I would say they both have some of Muhammad Ali, but Deontay Wilder is Mike Tyson, Muhammad Ali, all in one. So that's the biggest threat to AJ's career. He should have
gonna get some hate mail for sure, saying that Deontay Wilder is what?
I'm not saying that as an American and being biased against United Kingdom. I in fact want to go and fly to United Kingdom and watch an AJ fight. One of the listeners, Andre, was posting pictures. I was like, damn, man, he had a good ass time. But yeah, Deontay Wilder is the closest to Muhammad Ali mixed with Mike Tyson.
Oh, that's going to give me some hate mail.
We got Lennox Lewis mixed with Ali and Anthony Joshua. You don't agree with that? Yo.
So ultimately, your list goes as followed. What? First up,
Fury, Luis Ortiz, Joseph Parker, Pulev. That's like I would look at Pulev or whatever his name is as I don't know what he does, but for boxing.
But are you naming them at 1 through 5? 5 being the one you want to see the most? Like you got me confused right now.
Yeah, I'm going through next.
So you're the only one going backwards. Everybody else went the normal way, huh?
No, I'm going the normal way. Next fight should be Tyson Fury. Second fight should be Luis Ortiz. Third fight should be Joseph Parker. Pulev should be the fifth fight because those are fights back to back, but I think they're all easy. And then, Deontay Wilder, the very end.
Damn. So what the hell is Wilder supposed to do in the meantime? If AJ's fighting all them killers, what's Wilder get to do?
I don't know if they're killers. He should dismantle that list and make it even shorter for Tyson, for AJ, Anthony Joshua.
Yeah, it's a little harder said than done. Matt,
are we really not gonna just like bash casual for comparing Wilder to Muhammad Ali? Like, come on, like that was the most casual statement I've ever heard in my life.
He's boisterous. My co-host, like we got callers.
He's boisterous. He's boisterous. No,
he is a counter boxer similar to Muhammad Ali, but that's about the only comparison you can really have.
How much do you really know about Muhammad Ali?
How much do you know about Muhammad Ali? Come on, man.
Yo, I written bios about him.
There you go.
That's all you need to know.
That's all you need to know. So give us another one. What's another comparison then, bio writer?
I think Anthony Joshua is way more like Frank Bruno or a Evander Holyfield, in my opinion, than a Muhammad Ali.
You're talking style.
Yeah, style.
Frank Bruno's a bum. He got knocked out.
I think Deontay Wilder is more like, man, there's not a lot of heavyweights like him. That's the thing.
You're right about that.
Weird heavyweight.
Let's talk a little bit about the fight because there is that comparison. Wilder's been called wild at times, especially in that 5th and that 6th round. Anthony Joshua got taken to a very dark place. He was huffing and puffing. His back was on the ropes. He was just taking shots. And outside of that, though, guys, why is it that both – I mean, at least Anthony Joshua is more defensively sound than, I guess, Wladimir, right? Like the way that Wladimir was blocking kind of with like his hands so high and wide apart, not in a traditional high guard or normal orthodox style, right? Like he's so wild with his hands, like as if he's trying to deflect the shot as they're coming in. And it does work out that way. A lot of, Anthony Joshua's left hooks were deflected by his forearms, but I don't know. That was also the reason the straight right hands were able to go straight down the pipe on Wladimir.
Yeah, those hovering hands, it sometimes look like they both are released at the same time. That did not let Anthony Joshua inside, and that's when he was most successful on the inside to the body. So yeah, that defense was working for him. I would like to ask Deontay Wilder about someone fighting like that extended and what was.
Doesn't Wilder sort of do that too? Like Wilder will extend his hands when he's exiting out.
He does one arm though. He's like left hand. Klitschko had both arms out.
True.
Which was weird to me.
You know, and that's another thing. Klitschko had that lead hand so far down. I mean, Joshua took a lot of advantage of that, leading with his right hand to the body because Klitschko's lead left hand was so low. He was able to just land straight rights all day. He did a lot of good body work. Normally, we would see Klitschko clinch, right? They've even called him Klitschko in the past. But this time, Joshua immediately, when there was a clinch, he would release at least 2 quick body shots, man. He was beating on Klitschko's body very well. And that's something that I enjoyed because you don't see very many heavyweights putting any type of work into the body. So that was impressive to me, man. You know, he kept his composure too, even after the knockdown. Like, you really can't ask for anything more. Like I said, this fight is everything rolled into one because you got to see him suffer adversity. You got to see, does he have a chin? And you can say, hey, he went down from that one right hand, but you can also say he had the heart and the legs to get right back up, and recovery wasn't too bad. Going into the 6th round, he still was a bit wobbly. But, you know, what are you going to do, right?
And fatigued.
Yeah, the 6th round, he was definitely fatigued. That's why he got dropped. But it's because he really thought he knocked out Wladimir, and it was over.
Now,
you know, he put everything into that 5th round, and then the old veteran was able to turn the tables in about a minute and a half of the, you know, round left, and he turned it around. And then he also came out really hot and excited in the 6th round as well. So it was a tough one for Joshua, but he was able to overcome it. I mean, I don't want to keep rambling, but dude, does anybody remember when he was gasping for air in that 6th round and he kind of put his head down and then fucking Wladimir met him with an uppercut with the right hand?
Yes.
Bro, Joshua has a very, very good chin because
he has a strong chin. We thought he was going to get knocked out, but he learned from round 5 and 6. In round 7, he still was a little gassed out, but he still looked like a powerhouse when he threw punches. He didn't look like a slow puncher, you know, and it all started to increase and increase. He learned from gassing out in round 5, and in the 11th round, you saw how he took his time to then execute his punches, and he won the knockout.
And just overall, he learned so much from this fight. From a guy that this was his 19th fight, fighting a Wladimir Klitschko, getting knocked down in the 6th round, coming back from that, knocking out a legend. The type of fighter that Anthony Joshua is, he's going to learn and gain so much from this fight that the next fight we see him in, he may be a very different fighter. He may be a much improved fighter too.
No, the confidence is going to go through the roof. He was in there what is obviously a legend, and he was able to come out on top.
One more thing, right? If last night's fight was against Wilder, he would have lost. If his opponent was Wilder, he would have lost if he made those same mistakes, because
we don't know. But I think if you have that opinion, I can't fault you for that.
Right.
But again, one thing we do know is that even though Joshua got hurt, he got back up and he won the fight.
I just think, you know, Wilder's a finisher. That's the difference. AJ,
but he's so wild, dude.
He's wild.
Trying to finish. Listen, what AJ showed is that he could be hurt and still hurt you. So what if Wilder's going to finish and he gets clipped? We've never seen him clip. It's been a long time since he's gone down. He hasn't gone down from an elite level puncher, man.
Who gave Wilder?
Yeah, Joshua is an elite level puncher. We know if Joshua lands any sort of cleanness on Wilder, it's going to hurt him.
Well, let's be clear here. How big of a puncher is he, though? Because, yo, everybody's using that uppercut picture, and the reason I put it here is because Wladimir did not go down from this uppercut.
But that was the 11th round uppercut, wasn't it?
But we also thought Jacobs had a bad chin, and he survived Triple G, one of the most devastating hitters in boxing right now.
Exactly, but Wladimir Klitschko is notorious, right? Like Samuel.
What do you mean notorious? That how long ago was that Samuel Peters fight? How long ago was it? Again, we're using fights from over half a decade ago.
That is true, Matt. You're right. Listen, you have to be the voice of reason when you're right. You're right. Those were very old fights, but you can't act as if there wasn't this dark cloud around his chin.
I'm saying that obviously Klitschko has improved some sort of defensive technique to improve his chin, just like Jacobs has. I'm saying I don't know how it's done,
The
but
fact
this
of the matter
year,
is
you see
this.
two guys who've had historically bad chins and prove them against devastating punchers.
Listen, the fact of the matter is this. Vladimir landed one right hand and Joshua went straight down. Joshua needed to land a series of punches. It's not bad. I'd rather see my heavyweight throw combinations, but
let's not act like Joshua didn't get chewed up with right hands throughout and jabs throughout. Like, he ate a lot of shots that he shouldn't have. His left eye was pretty swollen after the fight.
Well, it could be argued that left eye was swollen because of that huge headbutt. It was a huge headbutt.
Good point. And there was actually two headbutts. There was two headbutts, I believe.
There was two. One in the early rounds, and then in the later, I think it maybe in the 10th, they both went to reach in and you know, they really hit each other hard towards the end of the round. Listen, again, we keep calling them young. Danny Garcia is 27 and you know, a multiple division champion at this point, but you know, again, he's young in the amount of fights. No one is doing what he's doing in this amount of time in terms of in his resume, Casual, because you know, you feel that Wilder would beat him, but maybe it could be argued that Wilder is more experienced because of those 38 fights. But you know,
but you can also argue that the Klitschko fight is more experienced than 10 of Wilder's.
Obviously, because Klitschko is levels above any opponent. So the experience that you gain in the ring with a Wladimir Klitschko has to trump the experience that you gain in with Joe Blow. But you know, why wasn't that an option, Casual? I mean, that was one of your things in the media reaction show. Was your immediate reaction was like, yo, why Wilder wasn't mentioned?
Yeah, I mean,
you know what else wasn't mentioned before I open the floor to you? I just finished watching the fight. He said, Germany, Ukraine, UK, I love you. Like, damn, what happened to the fucking US? You had 2 US networks streaming the fight.
That's true.
And 2 US crews commentating the fight live in the UK. That was a little weird.
But, you know, you got to remember, man, the United States and the UK, there's different, man.
There's a rivalry, right?
I don't know if there's a rivalry, but you know,
there's
maybe
an obvious rivalry.
There's fans that, you know, choose their fighter over there, you know, American bums, UK bums, you know, that's thrown around a lot. So, you know, Deontay Wilder, I was like, all right, well, maybe Deontay Wilder was lost in the 90,000, you know, and that's why it wasn't mentioned. He just won his mind is somewhere else. But I'm sure, did he mention him in the post-fight interview? Post-fight?
I did not get to see the HBO broadcast. I didn't record it, so I didn't get to see that. I only got the live Showtime broadcast. That did not have an interview or any mention of Wilder in it. The only mention of Wilder came from the
Max Kellerman.
No. Kellerman is with HBO. I didn't see that broadcast. I saw the Showtime. So the only mention was from Paulie and Morrow and things like that. Really quick before I pass you back the ball, I would like to ask you, if you're watching this, to hit that thumbs up button. It really helps with the visibility of the show. And if you guys want to take it a step further and show your appreciation for the show, drop us a 5-star review. We just received about 4 new ones, and we need to get to those once our producer's back. So, yeah, Cash, you were saying?
I was saying, if you watch the HBO telecast, in the very end, you know, Max Kellerman gave AJ all the questions he had, and in the very end gave AJ the opportunity, Anthony Joshua that is, to mention Deontay Wilder by asking Anthony, yo, do you have anything else to say? And he just said, no, I just want to say you are a legend and it's great meeting you, to Max Kellerman. And Max responded after that, like, I thought you would mention Deontay Wilder. So I wasn't the only one thinking. No.
All right. So then, what did AJ say after that? He just walked away.
He just said, "Yo, hey, Deontay Wilder's a great fighter," and he just, shouted out Shannon Briggs. I swear to God, he went into like, "Yo, Shannon, yo, let's go, champ," something like that.
What? I'm telling you, they don't want no parts of that, boot. I'm just saying, they don't want no parts. Listen, no sense in holding it up. We gave our list. We gave our order. You know what time it is. This is the Boxing Voice, the voice of the people. That number is 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 just one time if you want to voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline. Let's go out to those callers.
That's right.
But first, a word from those sponsors.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Going out to Scotland, I believe, with Jake, right? Jake? Skype? Jake? Jake? All right. From Jake to Idris, what's up?
Hey, man, what's happening, man? Hey, listen, man, I'm still buzzing, man. I don't care, man. I'm still buzzing, man. I didn't sleep last night. But you know what, yeah? Can I say a few things firstly, yeah? Wilder and this Joshua fight is being perfectly manufactured by Eddie Hearns, I reckon. I'll tell you why. Because they didn't try to make...
Jake, please mute yourself, Jake. Just Idris is on the call right now. Please mute yourself. Thank you.
Yeah, they didn't give him any mention or anything, but they gave him a lot of exposure. Like, I saw him on the newspaper. I turned on my TV, Sky Sports News and BBC News. He was on there. They were talking to him. And like the mainstream casuals are just building this guy up to be like some sort of boogeyman. Do you know what I'm trying to say? For America, like the American Anthony Joshua. And this is to casuals. And everywhere I was going, people was talking about Deontay Wilder. Like, straight after the fight, like I'm talking about casuals all over the country. So I think Eddie Hearns sort of played a big part in promoting him in a very strange way that people don't know, like just get him out there to the... That's why I think this fight with Bellew is important to him. He wants to solidify himself.
Yeah, but how could you solidify yourself with a cruiserweight? Listen, 2 weeks ago, people would have said Wilder versus Bellew is Wilder cherry picking. Now, all of a sudden, because they want to put roadblocks between Wilder and AJ, they want to see Wilder make a name for himself in the UK fighting fucking Bellew, who's a cruiserweight, blown up at best, and will die. He will die in the name of Matchroom and Eddie Hearns because you guys want a roadblock.
Here's the thing. There's going to be roadblock anyway because Anthony Joshua fight is not going to happen straight away. Anthony Joshua is going to take a couple. He might even do that Pulev fight, and then he might take another, just pick someone like Shannon Briggs. I think that's the reason why he picked him out. Like, he wants to give him a payday, and he wants to fight him. And listen, this Deontay Wilder fight in Bellew is important for both of them because I'll tell you why. The UK fans will eat up and they'll pay for that. Do you know what I mean? And after that, by the end of that fight, the outcome, when Deontay Wilder knocks him out, this guy is going to be talked about for a very long time here until that entry is going to be
bullshit fight, bro. Wilder fights that guy. It's a cherry pick. You guys will give him no respect once he kills Bellew. It'll be like, oh, he cherry picked. That guy was a division above. You know, Adonis Stevens knocked him out at light heavyweight. Come on, bro. You think I'm crazy or something?
Let me tell you, the Deontay Wilder fight and Anthony Joshua, that's like the final level of a boss. You know what I'm trying to say? I'm telling you now, that is the mega fight. So they're trying to get him to pick, like they want to finish off the division before that fight happens. It's going to be a bit strange if that's the next fight, and then it's like, you've just had the best fight you can possibly, any boxing fight can have. Do you know what I mean? And it's not even for the undisputed title, like undisputed, all the things. I'm telling you now, that is the old.
Idris, that was your round. You almost knocked him out like AJ did Klitschko. Listen, Matt, we're going to have to start keeping account of the amount of people that want to set these roadblocks up. Because last time I checked, Tony Bellew did something great, winning the WBC title at cruiserweight. He knocked out McAboo when no one thought he would. Then he went up a division and fucking knocked out David Haye when no one thought he would. He should not be a sacrificial lamb. It's unfair. It's not right. We're going to go back out to the UK from Idris to Nathan B. No one other than Nathan B should be talking. Let's go.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
Sound better than you ever have, Nathan. What's going on?
Great. Yeah, it's a great show as always, boys. I was at Wembley Stadium on Saturday night watching the fight. Absolutely amazing fight. The atmosphere was electric. You know, I've been to some great sporting events before, but that atmosphere in Wembley Stadium was something else. I've never experienced anything like that in my life. And credit to Klitschko, he came, he fought well, and yeah, I just thought it was an amazing fight to watch. But I was listening to your show last night, this morning, and there's a lot of people saying, "Oh, why is Joshua calling out Fury? Why is he not talking about Wilder?" Well, the truth is, the Joshua Fury fight is a way bigger fight than the Wilder fight. I mean, let's be real. Wilder isn't well known in the UK. Like, I was talking to some casuals in Wembley last night.
I just got to stop you right there. Listen, you're going to get your time, but this is the same fucking Canelo Alvarez Triple G. Play the song all you want. But everybody who's been waving the flag for Triple G, wanting Canelo to give him a shot, well, here you go. This is the same rhetoric right now. All of a sudden, Tyson Fury, a fucking, listen, and no disrespect to you, Tyson.
Just for the record, the music was to the caller, not to you.
What?
Just for the record, the music was to the caller, not to you.
Okay.
Roadblocks, all the roadblocks, you know?
And matter of fact, for the record, no, for the warnings.
Podcast is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
That being said, you're telling me that the bigger fight is with a guy who's been out of the ring I don't know how fucking long. Last time we checked was on coke, wearing a Batman suit, weighing 400 pounds, and fighting on Twitter. Come on, bro. Come on. This is the same thing that people say, like when Khan and Canelo fought instead of Triple G. Let's not start here with this nonsense, Nathan.
Would sell Wembley Stadium 5 times over. That was a way bigger
So a big fight to you is tickets, huh?
Ready.
A big fight to you is tickets, not a big fight, actually. Not Klitschko versus AJ, which was a competitive fight. You rather see a big fight that sells tickets. Why does Tyson automatically get a shot just because he decided to lose weight? He's the one that let go of his title shot versus Vladimir. AJ did what Tyson was supposed to do. Those are the facts. It was Tyson that was supposed to give the lineal champion a rematch, a shot at his title. No one else's. AJ had to do it for him. Let's just be clear. You know, when speaking, that's all. He dropped off. Let's go to Jake from State Farm. You talking or we marching?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go for it.
Yeah, with in regards to the Wilder fight, I do think they are trying to build it. I think, to be honest, any fight in the UK with Anthony Joshua involved, it's going to sell. But what they want is pay-per-view money in America, and can Wilder deliver on that? That's the question. You know, the next fight.
Let me ask you a question, Jake.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. Can, I don't know, Tyson fucking Fury solidify any pay-per-views in America? Absolutely not.
No. So yeah, but that's what I'm trying to say is that although, you know, any Joshua fight's going to make money, they want to make more money, and that's why they're trying to build this Wilder fight. So they're seeing if Anthony Joshua fights either Klitschko, or I reckon it's going to be Pulev next, because he's not going to go for an unnecessary risk with Luis Ortiz. He'll take the IBF mandatory instead because he'll make the same amount of money. If Wilder beats Parker, will that make him a pay-per-view in America? That's my question to you.
I highly doubt it, man. I highly doubt it, because Parker would be no different than Victor Postal. You know, keep it real. The name was Terrence Crawford fighting Victor Postal. That did 50,000. The name would be Wilder in the U.S. fighting Joseph that no one knows. They'd probably make more pay-per-views in New Zealand if Wilder took the trip to New Zealand, to be honest. And I'm being honest.
Yeah, see, that's the problem, because I do think that they want that Wilder fight in the US, because they know.
But let me ask you a question here, Jake. You know, so many times these callers come in here and say that Wilder's fought 38 fucking bums, 38 nobodies, that he's got chicken legs that he can't stand on. Why not take the fucking title from him? Why does it got to be a big fight? Why can't AJ just unify the division? Does it get any bigger than unification?
Yeah, I get that, but would Wilder take 20% or 25%? Because what is he bringing to the table other than the bouts?
He's bringing his WBC title and a unification. Facts.
Yeah, but I really think.
Don't worry about it. That's just my hating ass co-host, mad that I'm spitting facts while he ain't got nothing.
I think they really want the fight in the US just because they want that more money. It's a massive market, isn't it? At the end of the day,
I don't think the US will break pay-per-views. Wilder and Joshua.
Who would Wilder have to beat to become a pay-per-view star like Canelo, say, for example?
He would need to fight Tyson Fury because the American public remembers Tyson Fury beating Wladimir Klitschko first, and he could at least sell that. But other than that, there is no one. Listen, you can't sit around and wait for Wilder to build this bigger name. He's fought 38 fights, ladies and gentlemen. It's not going to get any bigger than what it is. What you're doing is setting the roadblock. You want the speed bump. You don't want the fight. Your guy's not ready, and we witnessed it last night. We seen one fucking right hand land and him get on queer street. Not one round, but two. So what the fuck is Wilder going to do? Stop it. Stop it. Let's just be real. Let's make it happen right now. Listen, Wilder's been saying all year 2017 unification. He ain't saying let me go fight fucking Tony Bellew, even though that's probably going to happen now. I'm telling you. They're going to try and brainwash him to sell this fight somehow and more and fight this guy that they're going to say he was cherry picking. We went to Jake. Nathan's back. Talk to me, Nathan.
Hello, can you hear me all right?
You're back. Go for it.
Yeah, no, the point I was just trying to make is I want to see that Wilder-Joshua fight, believe me, as much as you do. But at the end of the day, I want to see Wilder fight someone legit first. I want to make sure he's at that level because, let's be honest, the guy he's fought so far, none of them could even say are even top 10. Let's be real. If he beats someone like a Parker,
you're still talking about...
Come on, dude. Bermain Stavern. Really? No, let's not be disrespectful here. He has one win.
No, Matt, it doesn't even matter.
Vacant belt, mate. Vacant belt.
But this is what I'm saying. It doesn't even matter. You're still talking about who he's fought and who he needs to fight. Take that belt from him. If he's such a bum, if he's bum squad, take the fucking belt.
Did I call him a bum? I did not say he was a
bum. No, the world calls him that. The world calls. Who better to prove yourself than the fucking unified champion? He's got a belt. He has a reason.
Look at it this way. Yeah, Joshua is the Mayweather of the heavyweight division. Everyone wants to fight Joshua because he's the money man. Everyone wants that payday. And the same with Mayweather. To fight Mayweather, you had to earn that payday. You had to fight someone legit, then you'd get that payday. When Wilder fights someone legit, then he's earned that payday, and he should have that fight. But I don't want to see guys could fight 38 bums.
Hey, Charles Martin earned that payday, huh? Hey, Nathan, Charles Martin earned that payday, huh? Charles Martin earned that payday? Did Charles Martin earn the payday? Did Dominic Brazil earn the payday? What about Dylan White? Did Dylan White earn the payday?
Now he's a megastar. He's a megastar for beating Klitschko.
Hey, yo, they setting roadblocks, Cashy Waggy.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how AJ became Floyd Mayweather heavyweight division with 18 fights.
Because he's the money man. He's the one that does.
No, I understand that, but
does anyone else do pay-per-views? He is the money man in the heavyweight division. How can you argue with that statement?
Yo, did anybody
argue with that statement at all?
There's a phrase that they put together in America and they throw around. It might be in boxing in the UK as well. It's called a made champion. So was Anthony Joshua a made champion?
I mean, not after the win over. Not after the win over Vladimir. He can't.
Not after that Vladimir win. Indeed, I would say that. But before that,
yeah.
Yeah, before that, yeah, fair comment. But he's now justified being a champion by beating Klitschko. He's got a Klitschko on his resume. Wilder doesn't have a Klitschko on his resume. That's
hold on, very quickly, Nathan.
Fair enough, he deserves it.
Nathan, if you want Wilder to fight Joseph Parker next, that's fair. I think that's a fair fight next to ask of Wilder. What are you asking of Joshua next?
For Joshua, I'd just like to see him take care of his mandatory, take care of Pulev, get rid of that out of the way, then he can move on to unifications fights and hopefully fight Wilder and Tyson Fury later on down the line. That's what I'm.
So why can't Deontay Wilder fight his mandatory? Why? You know what I mean? Like, I think we should ask every fighter to fight the best possible competition. Why not fight his other mandatory, who's Luis Ortiz? Because Luis Ortiz is a much better mandatory than Pulev, but you picked the weaker opposition than the harder mandatory. Interesting.
It is interesting, all the roadblocks that they're setting up. I'm telling you, I see a lot. But let's get to, we got another UK here. We got Jordan. Jordan, first time calling in. Where you calling from?
All right, lads. Scotland.
Scotland.
Scotland, yeah.
Good to have you, brother.
I want to talk about obviously you're saying setting up roadblocks, but I don't really think it is. I think that Wilder fight will happen. I think that's going to happen somewhere in the summer next year, but I don't think fight, like everybody's chanting Wilder, like he's got mandatories to deal with. Like people were thought about just before this Klitschko fight that Joshua could be stripped of one of these belts like straight away after it because there's a timeline for him to fight his mandatories. I think he'll deal with his mandatories. I think Wilder, he'll fight Parker next. I think he'll fight Parker next. He'll knock out Parker easily. I think. I don't really rate Parker, but coming up, we're talking about Fury as well. I think that Fury fight is massive because he's obviously beat. I don't care what people say, like, oh, he's fat and that. He's a fat fuck, but he bet Klitschko. Obviously he's unbeaten, and that's a point. Josh has got a point to prove. I wouldn't say Josh has got a point to prove, but him beating Fury is like him making a point. Like Fury's all going on about he's the real champ, calling Wilder a bum, Joshua a bum, and all that. I think once he beats him, that Wilder fight's going to set up for next year, 100%. That's why the Showtime deal, with Eddie Hearn, they set that up for that big fight. That's going to happen. I think that'll happen. I reckon what will happen is Joshua fights Wilder. There'll be a rematch clause, and they'll go to Las Vegas. That's what I think will happen. It'll be a big fight at Wembley Arena, and then it'll go to Las Vegas.
I hear everybody asking Anthony Joshua to get just a little bit more experience before fighting Deontay Wilder. That's what it sounds like to me.
I think that's what's happening. I think
I seen him go down by that right hand by a 41-year-old man, and why do you want to put him in the ring versus the guy that everyone who stepped in the ring ended up in the hospital? I understand.
Kind of dumb it down when you say by a 41-year-old man. Sound like some average Joe. Let's not forget that was Wladimir Klitschko. But what I'm trying to figure out, and not even figure out,
Wladimir Klitschko that did not drop Tyson Fury.
Hey, let's not forget, if Klitschko fought Wilder and Wilder did that and had that same exact fight against Klitschko, Ness, you would be praising Wilder right now. You know it. So let's not pick apart
for overcoming adversity the same way that I said Joshua did. I don't
know. And knocking out a legend in Klitschko. Yes, you would praise Wilder. Don't take away this victory in any way. This is a huge win for Joshua. There's no reason to nitpick this win.
How am I nitpicking this win?
But you beat a 41-year-old man.
So he's not 41.
He is 41, but he's a 41 fighter.
But he's also a legend. Come on.
All right, let's go out to the callers. We got the chosen one. Chosen one, you got to change your avatar, man. You've been sticking around there all alone, not speaking because I can't even see you. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going from dark to live.
Put a boxing glove.
My bad. First of all, I want to say that they all want to avoid Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder will KO this man. That's a fact. If he was to throw the uppercut which Joshua took yesterday, that's it. End of the night right there. That's it. As for all these people talking about top 10, Gerald was a top 10. Go check the ranking. Eric was a bum when he fought Deontay, but wasn't when he fought AJ. Like, what are you trying to say out here? You're just trying to avoid Deontay Wilder. He's going to knock AJ out. That's a fact.
Was it Molina who gave Deontay Wilder the eye jammy?
But was Molina not fresher then than he was now? Was Molina as scared against Deontay as he was against AJ?
No, he wasn't.
It was two different fights altogether. AJ fought this man after he took brain damage from Deontay. That's a fact.
Right. So you don't think ultimately Deontay Wilder is on the AJ list, Eddie Hearn's list?
I think they're trying to avoid him for as long as possible because they know what Deontay will do to this man.
It's a build-up.
They want to milk this man as long as possible. They want to milk this man as long as possible, and then later on do whatever they've got to do down the line. Not now.
I agree. That's why Tyson Fury's next.
And as for Tyson Fury's always been fat before camps. I don't know why y'all acting like it's something different here. He's always been the fat person. Usually not as fat as this, but he's always been fat. Let's not forget that man did play with Wladimir. He took away all of Vladimir's tools, and no one really looked into that kind of part of Tyson Fury. Yes, he's fat right now, but that's how he's always been. And he is a better boxer than even Wladimir. What do you think he will do to AJ?
Yeah, but he's never gone into the ring looking in this shape. So knock it off.
But before the fights, he's always been in this kind of shape. He's always been fat. Even he said so himself. And that fight, I don't think that fight could happen because there's a lot he has to go through. Do you remember that he does have a positive test to deal with first as well? There's a positive test. Then on top of that, this cocaine thing. I don't even know if he could get licensed in time for AJ fight. I think that fight is later down the line than now.
What's the scorpion thing? What's that?
There was a test which was positive. You can Google it. I can't remember the name of substance, but it was in the news and everything. It's N something. You can Google it and check what the substance was. But there was a doping allegation right after the Vladimir fight, a few weeks after.
Yeah, and they've postponed the hearing from UCAD several times.
Exactly. So the hearing still has to take place. You don't know what kind of stuff he'll go through in this hearing. You don't know what punishment he'll get, if he's actually guilty or what's going on. You know what I mean? There's a lot he has to go through before he even gets into the ring. And I think the fact that AJ called him out now when he knows Tyson is at his worst shows that he's just trying to, avoid the fighters at their peak. That's what I see in this. I don't see nothing else other than that.
Chosen one, great call, brother. Thank you for calling in. We're going to go out to our good friend over at SiriusXM from the sweet scientists over at thisis50.com. We got Ak, the part of the duo from Ak and Baraka, the sweet scientists. What's going on, Ak?
Yo, what's up, man? This is great dialogue you guys are creating here, man. The only thing that I'm not hearing is, for one, I really don't want to hear anybody say that a 41-year-old man dropped Joshua. First of all, this is the heavyweight division. There shouldn't even be talk about people that have weak hands or who can take a punch. That when it comes to heavyweights, anybody will go down from that right hand of Klitschko. Anybody. So that didn't say anything at all about Joshua's, his beard or anything like that. So this boxing business, it is a business. All right. So I'm gonna give you a quick story. I was on the phone. I think it was with my bank customer service. They actually located the call centers in Alabama. So I was talking to the young lady, and it was actually the week of when Deontay was fighting there. So we started talking, and make a long story short, she didn't even know who Deontay Wilder was. This was a young girl, probably in her 20s, I think she told me, in Alabama. So obviously Deontay is he's not a pay-per-view star here. And me personally, I don't want to see that fight yet. Why do boxing fans lose right away? Like why? Why do you want it all in one shot? Why the fuck can people be patient and let shit be built? Obviously Deontay would be his biggest threat. So why the fuck do you want to see this guy that just became an instant superstar? I mean, he was a superstar in the UK, but he obviously gained fans here in the US after that great heavyweight showdown yesterday in Anthony Joshua. You want to see him fight our best heavyweight right away, right now? Then what? We're going to sit around for 4 more years for somebody to come out of the woodwork to be a heavyweight star? Fucking relax. There are other heavyweights out there. Let the shit build. 2018 is a better year. But let me tell you one thing about
listen to me. Stop with this BS, bro. What's going on with you right now, man?
Yep,
what's going on with you right now?
Let me ask you a question. What then if they fight at the end of this year?
What you mean, what then? That's a good time at the end of this year.
What's going to happen to the heavyweight division? That's all you want? One fight? One heavyweight fight? And this is a big mega showdown. Let's say Deontay knocks Wilder out. I mean, Deontay knocks Joshua out. Then what?
Hold on, very quickly. You don't think Wilder can fight? Hold on.
String it along? You want us to string it along for your fucking entertainment? The best can't fight.
Hold on. I have a question. Very quick question. Can Wilder fight Parker and Joshua fight Ortiz, and then the winners fight each other? Why is that such an issue?
But why? Why? When people been saying for 38 fights, they've been saying that Wilder's been fighting bums. Why put another guy that's not a fucking champion in front of him? Why?
Because he is not a draw yet. Because he is.
So let me ask you something.
You become a draw by beating a draw. You don't become a draw by beating bums. You become a draw by beating someone who is a draw.
No, but
how did Mayweather become a draw? He beat Oscar De La Hoya. You have to beat the A side to become the A side. You can't beat a bunch of B-sides and become a big name in the sport. That's not how it works.
This is the thing. You can't name.
Mayweather had an illustrious career before he fought Oscar. He had big.
And he was a no one. No one knew him. Come on, man.
Wait a minute.
No one knew him.
Matt, wait a minute. Just name one guy that is going to raise the popularity of Deontay Wilder enough to become some sort of pay-per-view star, brother.
Well, he's not. There's no guy that's going to make him a pay-per-view star, but more relevant, yeah, a guy like Tyson Fury, maybe. You know, because people are aware of who.
So let me ask you a question, right? Why would Tyson Fury fight Deontay Wilder instead of fighting AJ?
I'm just saying. You asked me who could he fight to make him more relevant. So I answered that question. I didn't say
it's just not realistic. Your trajectory isn't realistic.
And what were the names? Hold on. What were the names that you threw out again? Sorry.
Threw out Tyson Fury, but I don't think that makes him relevant in a match.
Can you name an active boxer?
He only named one name, and that name is not even a name, bro. Like Tyson Fury, first of all.
No. He's a name. He's a name, but name an active boxer.
I'm talking about in the sense that we don't know what he's going to do next. And why would he fight Wilder when the bigger money fight is with he and Joshua in the UK? Like it just
the whole heavyweight division is in the UK.
Listen, in the UK, but here in the US, you think that fight is going to do crazy pay-per-view numbers because of Joshua here right away? No, he needs something else. People in Alabama don't even know who the fuck he is.
Man, you're lying right now. You never even been to Alabama. You're lying. You're lying. You never even been to Alabama. They know him in the Popeyes. They know him everywhere. That shit is on video. You lying. Talking about they don't know. They know him in Birmingham. They know him in Tuscaloosa. They know him in the airport. You lying.
Listen, so you wasn't listening? I just told you I was on a call but with a rep in a call center from Alabama, and we had dialogue about it, and she didn't know who he was. That was just an example. I'm not saying that nobody knows the guy.
A girl, it could have been a dude. It would have been a different story.
Yo, I remember. All I know is whenever a fight fan says no one knows him, it's code for we don't want to fight him right now. He's dangerous right now. Triple G, when Triple G was supposed to fight Martinez, Lou DiBella said, no one knows him right now. When it was Cotto's turn, Cotto said, who's he for? No one knows him right now. Y'all scared to death. Y'all scared to death. Scared to death.
You never heard that from me. First of all, I'm not a Joshua fan or Wilder hater, but let me tell you something.
Sound like one.
Stylistically, right? Wait, stylistically, Wilder has no inside game at all. None. And Joshua is very strong for his size inside. He attacks the body. He has a good left hook and an uppercut. And when's the last time Wilder fought somebody of that stature and that size? When? Never worry. That's when. Never. And so don't act because Klitschko landed a right hand.
You want him to fight a 350-pound fat Tyson Fury to prepare for a 250-pound lean cut Anthony Joshua? Why not fight Justin Parker, who is much more in a physique of an Anthony Joshua? Why name Tyson Fury? That's just interesting to me.
What are you talking about? But why are you talking about Tyson Fury?
I thought you brought him up. That's why I'm bringing him up. I thought you brought him up. Have you brought up any names? Bring up one name. Bring up one name for Wilder to fight to build him up.
That's actually a question.
The bottom line.
I asked you a question. This is our show. I asked you a question.
The bottom line here is this: you want a roadblock. You want a roadblock. That's what it is.
No.
Can you answer the question? Can you name one name?
It's not a fucking.
He said Fury, man. He said Fury.
You said he didn't say Fury.
No, he said Fury when you asked for the name.
That's not why.
Hey, get off a speakerphone, bro.
I'm not phone, but I'm gonna tell you this: if you think because Klitschko landed a right hand, Wilder is definitely gonna knock Joshua out with a right hand, you a fool, and all of you are fools because
the only fool I see is the one that's trying to prolong the fight, the one that's saying he ain't big enough, the one that's saying he can't sell out tickets. That shit sound like some historical bullshit used not to get the best versus the best.
No, that's historical. That's historically good business.
Yo, we just witnessed the crossover of a boxing fan turned fucking promoter live on air.
That's it. That's all. You guys got listen. Most of these hardcore fans like yourself don't get that aspect of it. Even though you're involved in it, it goes over your head sometimes, and you get too passionate about fighting.
But you're not the promoter. That's the thing.
With this, realistic. No, it's not about being a promoter. It's about being.
But you're not the promoter. You're the analyst. You're the fan. You should be the one calling for the best guys find the best, but you're not.
No, you know why? You know why, Matt? You know why? Because he's brainwashed. He's brainwashed into thinking that if he tricks the fans, the casuals, right? Because that's what they want to do. The people with his way of thinking, they want to trick more casual fans into what boxing isn't, right? Serve them a bunch of bullshit and show them Joshua beating up guys nobody cares about so they could get drawn in, then later have the Wilder fight. That is the way that he is trying to promote the sport. Yeah, you see? That's how he's trying to promote the sport, by bleeding the fucking fight fan. You're trying to bleed the fight fan with numerous bullshit fights to line the pockets of the fucking promoters. And man, this guy is, yo, you've lost it, man. You've lost the light, bro. Come back to the light, B. Come back.
Never.
You're gone, man. You're gone. You went Hollywood. It's over for this guy. Hollywood right here. We need a Hollywood soundbite for these guys.
Listen. You want to see a fight a year, one fight a year? That's gonna be a lot of work for you, buddy. You're gonna make a lot of money covering one fucking big fight a year. That's what you guys want. 1 or 2 big fights a year.
So you think that Deontay Wilder fighting Joshua within 12 months limits what big fights we get? I think that's kind of
let him close.
He's trying to stretch the schedule and shit.
Let him close. You hogging his call. Let him close.
Yeah, yo, go ahead. Do your thing.
I'm not a promoter.
You sound like one.
I'm not a promoter. Right? I'm not a promoter, but I look at things through different eyes, not just mine, not just a hardcore back, because that's stupid and ignorant to look at it.
You use promoters
from one perspective. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you use the perspective of promoters.
Great job up there.
I went that route because I was like, yo, I'd rather
rub elbows, man. We don't rub elbows around here, man. We don't rub elbows. We just do numbers, B. We don't rub elbows. We don't want to kick it with promoters. We ain't trying to give them advice on what they should do. We don't give a fuck about what fights.
Publicists.
We talking about the real fights, the shit that should happen.
Yeah, all right, keep doing that. See how far that gets you. These casual fans, these hardcore fans ain't gonna do shit for you.
I hear you, man.
They're gonna do shit for you eventually. But it's so
you're selling out? Is that what it is?
The dialogue, what was that?
Well, you say like, you're gonna trust these hardcore fans? Okay, that's gonna be good for you. Are you saying like we should sell out and go for the casuals, and we should talk to promoters and get chummy with them? Like, what are you saying here? Are you saying that like all media should sell out and not deliver to the hardcore fans? Because that's what we should do. The hardcore fans are the ones that dictate what is true and pure about this sport. Just saying.
I'm telling you before I want to go. I want to say this before I go. No, I'm not telling you to sell out. I'm telling you to understand that wanting a big fight right away for the biggest heavyweight star that we have is a mistake. That's it. Because I'm gonna tell you one thing. That's not assuming. Like you can't say that dude's gonna knock Joshua out. Honestly, I'll pick Joshua to win. But I gotta roll. Yo, Ness, everybody on there, great job. You're doing your thing. We gotta chop it up so I can have you up that series so we can argue on the end, right?
Yeah. All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. You already know.
Yes, before you go to another caller, like I wanted to say, because when we came up with that 5-name list, my immediate reaction to the list was like, all right, if I was a promoter, I wouldn't put him against Deontay Wilder next. I would save that because I think that like everyone was saying, that he's still vulnerable, and Deontay Wilder is a wild fighter. His arm, he has that same reach with one arm, the way Klitschko was using both yesterday, not allowing Anthony Joshua on the inside. So that is the hardest fight for AJ immediately after Klitschko, I believe. So my mind was like, yo, I'd rather see him go the Tyson Fury route. Any fight in UK in Wembley against Anthony Joshua is a sellout and will put Deontay Wilder on the throne if he were to beat AJ in Wembley. I believe that'll make him the pay-per-view star. So yeah, nothing wrong with putting on a promoter eye and say, yo, I don't think that should be next.
Very quickly, I think that hold on, very quickly. I just want to quickly.
Lomachenko, man.
What's up?
I love Lomachenko.
That's cool. I mean, you know, we talking AJ right now.
Yeah, but Lomachenko
hold on.
wants to fight the best.
Hold on, very quickly.
He ain't trying to call out dudes that's inactive and
they all want to. I'm talking about like fans.
Lomachenko's fighting the best.
That's true. You're absolutely
putting out contracts. He's putting out contracts. He's making his contracts verbal. He's making them public.
That's cool. But I'm saying fans, they come at it all kinds of ways. Fans go like, nah, that shouldn't be next. I even heard you one time say, why would he have a hard fight after a hard fight? You know what I'm saying? He should have hard fight, easy fight, hard fight. You know what I'm saying? So I believe the easy fight for AJ next, if it's not the rematch clause in effect, that it will be Tyson Fury. I think that's the easiest fight.
We don't want Tyson Fury to be an easy fight.
Right.
Hold on, Enrique. Hold on. We want Tyson Fury to be the best possible shape and the best possible version of Tyson Fury when he enters the ring against either Deontay Wilder or Anthony Joshua, because we want that win to mean something.
Of course.
And we don't want to value. We don't want a 350-pound Tyson Fury having no tune-up fights after a long layoff and a sabbatical with drug addiction, fighting Deontay Wilder straight away or fighting Anthony Joshua straight away. That's not good for boxing or business if you want to use a promoter's hat.
What about Joseph?
That's not good for either.
What about Joseph Parker, whose name is ringing?
Joseph Parker's fine. He has a belt.
What about Luis Ortiz?
Has something that means something.
What about Luis Ortiz?
He's also named.
What about the guy Pulev?
I'd rather not see that.
All right, but those are the names that are on the 5 options.
Yes.
Not Wilder, if not Vladimir next. So, Wilder is the biggest threat of all of those names that we mentioned.
Possibly, we don't know.
So we should not have that fight next, because let's make some money first and win these easy fights and build our names up. That's Eddie Hearns. Eddie Hearns probably like, yo, don't even mention Wilder. He's in attendance. Don't even mention him. Who's he scouting? He can't call shots. Eddie Hearns. We are UK. He's in the UK. Let him get lost in the 90,000 fans. We don't know him. No. So
Bomb Squad!
Yeah, I'm not against Bomb Squad. I like I said, that is the biggest threat. That is the AJ showstopper. The Truman Showboat will hit the wall. When
it's funny, man, that for so long people talking about, yo, this guy's a bum. He fought 38 bums, and now they want him to keep fighting other people.
I mean, even if he fought a bum, what he did to these bums, like he said, he annihilated them. They don't come back. You saw Eric Molina, how Eric Molina went, like, what was it, 10 rounds, 11 rounds, 8 rounds? I don't even remember, against the Bomb Squad. But that changed his whole style of fighting. He did not fight like that against AJ because he knows what power felt like. So, you know, AJ looked incredible against Eric Molina. I don't think that he's going to be the threat to Deontay Wilder. I mean, you know.
I just want to know why all the roadblocks. Let's get back out to the callers.
Roadblock.
Go out to the UK. We got, actually, sorry, UK. We got to get out to our co-producer here of the show.
I'm a motherfucking monster.
Monster, get Wilder on the show, producer.
Good evening, everybody. Oh my God, I saw your email, Casual Fan, and let me tell you, I think that's a great idea, because I think we should definitely hear what Wilder got to say. But besides that, let's hear what I got to say. Yesterday, I called in the media reaction show, and I said exactly what Ness is saying. And I'm not, no, wait, Ness and anybody before you say anything, I said the same thing. To Ness's point, I really do think Wilder, oh God. I'm not gonna talk over that.
That's not even.
I really do think Wilder would be a much meaningful fight for Joshua. It would be a much meaningful fight overall. But I understand if we're talking business. Fine. Business-wise, Fury would be the best fight. But man, yesterday you wanted to make a point, because I said that Tyson Fury isn't as inactive and isn't really in the game, and he won't do anything for Joshua because he will be beating up a guy who mentally and physically isn't really in the sport. So, Matt, what was it that you wanted to say yesterday?
Yesterday? You expect me to remember yesterday?
Oh my fucking god!
I've had like 101-degree fever and like the flu these past couple of days because of that shitty motel we stayed at in Dallas. So
well, if you don't,
I'll tell you, he was stoned as fuck.
Well, if you don't remember, fine. Then I'll just continue talking. The point that I was trying to make yesterday is I wasn't trying to sit. Nobody's sitting on Joshua. Nobody's not saying that the fight wasn't great. Nobody's saying that the fight wasn't good. All I was saying was I would have preferred for him to call out Wilder. It is a much meaningful fight. Yes, Wilder may not bring as many draws as a Tyson Fury fight, but if Joshua is really the star that we claim for him to be, the tickets will sell. The tickets will sell for themselves.
Listen.
Don't you guys agree? If Joshua really is the big dog that everybody is claiming he is right now because he beat Klitschko, then the tickets will sell themselves.
The tickets sold. The Klitschko fight, what did that sell? In 90 minutes or 90 seconds? It was something fast. The draw is in the UK.
It was fast.
Deontay
Maybe the draw is in the UK.
That's where the fight is at. That's where all the heavyweight division lives in the UK. The welterweight, that popularity is here in America, but everyone else heavyweight, that's in the UK, man. Deontay Wilder got to go there, dethrone it, and bring it home.
Maybe there's a point to what you're saying, Castro. Maybe there's a point to why you're saying, Castro, and maybe that's the reason why everybody is so adamant about the Tyson Fury fight. And that's fine, but we cannot put all our eggs in one basket. And the reason why I said it is because Tyson Fury, mentally, we don't know where that motherfucker is right now. And if it's about but he called him out on Twitter, Tyson Fury calls everybody out on Twitter. Everybody. He hasn't called out his mama on Twitter because they shoot that motherfucker with a dart to sleep him and take the fucking phone away from him. That's the only reason, because the motherfucker is crazy. But the point is that really, I think it's a more meaningful fight if he fights Wilder. That's all.
Agreed.
Not Ortiz.
Thank you for calling in. Let me get to some other callers. We do have a jam-packed show. You know the number, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. If you want to voice your opinion on this topic, what should Anthony Joshua do next? We're discussing Joshua versus Klitschko, the aftermath, everything that happened and all the options. We've given you the top 5 and even a bonus number 6. If you're watching this on YouTube, hit that thumbs up button. It hurts with the not hurts, but helps with the visibility of the show. If you want to go a step further and drop us a 5-star review on iTunes, that is also very much appreciated. Let me get on out to Marcus in DC. What's going on?
Yo, what's good, Boxing Voice? Yo, man, I got a whole little mouthful real quick for what I was about to say. I hope that man Ox still listening. Hey, look here, he got the game fucked up. Everybody keep acknowledging that the fight game is in the UK, but people don't understand why. It's because people like him are still promoting niggas, giving niggas stretch. Niggas giving people shake fucking fights. When I say shake, like he got a brand new pack of Loud, he got a pound of Loud, but he want to mix it with the Reggie and then try to tell the consumers that, man, don't you want me to have the Loud longer? No, fuck no, just sell me straight Loud. What the fuck is wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? He keep making it seem like by making the Wilder fight that they got to fight very much next. It's 8 months from right now. They can say they can agree to fight in like December. Both people take a good, meaningful fight in the next 4 months. Joshua can go to Joseph Parker or have Joseph Parker come in. And I think what would be really outstanding if they had somebody like Wilder take on somebody like King Kong in the UK. Just, you know what I'm saying? So Wilder's too big to put him on the undercard and all that shit. But it would be great to have 2 fighters 2 different days in the same site, you know what I'm saying, same vicinity of London, to build up an animosity where somebody can say, oh, I never really paid attention to Wilder before. That would be a good fight to tune in December. So you can make the fight without pushing it off the 18. Number 2, fucking Joshua is one of them iron-tight motherfuckers that, you know what I'm saying, no matter what he does, no matter in his career how he gets trained, he's going gas because he don't have no fat on him. He builds up too much lactic acid, the muscles get tight. He's one of them type of dudes that's only going like in football and even in basketball. If he's not going into a straight line running into something, you're always going to present problems from him. I'm going to go on record right now and tell you that both Wilder and Parker will possibly stop Anthony Joshua. It's still going to be good fights to see, but possibly he will stop them. Again, to say this about Vladimir, they will stop Joshua. They'll stop Joshua, and I'll say this too. I don't necessarily need to see the Vladimir because I don't think Vladimir can do anything any better than he did. What I do see and what I do like with those two fighters is I like to see when the old guy shows something of what made him good when he was, and then the young fighter take it, go through that adversity, and come back. Klitschko can do no more. When you saw him on his media day, I'm always suspect of a dude who's in there working out to fucking house music. He uncoordinated as fuck with them sticking out the arm shit trying to block shots. That shit is corny as fuck. So look, he can't do no better. He can have a swan song fight in Ukraine or Germany against somebody else. He already knocked Kubrat Pulev out. We don't need to see Pulev against any of these dudes we talking about. We need to see Wilder and Joshua in December at some point. We could throw Parker and Joshua in the mix in you know what I'm saying, mid-summer, late summer. King Kong and Wilder out in the UK, and then Joshua and Wilder in the UK. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, you can't keep feeding the U.S. market fucking bad fights and have a dude like Canelo who only sells 300,000 pay-per-view fights against a dude, and he's our pay-per-view king. Even with a supposed built-in fan base with Mexico, he's still only doing 300,000. And then what it's telling you is that the backlash, and I hope you're listening, is that consumers don't want the bullshit no more, will not pay for the bullshit no more. And if you want to get a 1 million pay-per-view fighter again, you need to put on good fights in a reasonable amount of time. And that's my call, yo. Boxing Voice all day, every day, man. Straight out of D.C., man. Holla at your boy, man.
Marcus, thank you as always. Let's get to some of our ringers. We got, who's up first? Who's up first? Is he gone? Matt. Oh, there he goes. Damn, he's all at the bottom. Cam Star, what's going on, brother?
Hey, how you guys doing?
All
Great
right.
fight last night, and yeah. So, man, just listen to you guys talk. You just confused me. When I dialed in, I was fine with the Bellew fight. I just think that we're saying that Deontay Wilder doesn't really have anyone here to compel him to be the most compelling fight for the next fight. But they had like that little street trash talk session where Bellew tried to say, look, I beat a better heavyweight than you in any heavyweight you fought by naming what's his name, David Hay. So if this guy thinks that and really believes it, let him get his ass knocked the fuck out by fucking Deontay Wilder, bro.
Hey,
I'll take it. Let him knock his ass out in the UK.
KM Star, who is going to give Wilder credit for beating up a cruiserweight that was knocked out by a light heavyweight in Adonis Stevenson? Let's not forget it.
Yeah, but a while back, I think we have to listen to me. I understand why you say that. We have to look at what happened most recently, and we have to look at right now where the money is. It's in the UK. The face of heavyweight boxing is in the UK. Deontay Wilder just needs to put his face right next to Joshua's face. To do that, he's going to have to knock out a dumbass like fucking Bellew. If that puts him in the seat to command the fight with Joshua, he should do it. That's all I'm saying. But I understand, other than that, I understand everything that you said, like, credibility, et cetera, et cetera. But look, we know that Wilder will fight anyone because he was willing to go to Russia to fight Povetkin, who basically Povetkin, with all that drugs in his body, was looking like a beast, right? So I'm not saying let it marinate. If it could happen now, I will take it now. But if it can't happen now, I say that Wilder just keeps knocking guys out and demanding the fight. And that's all that we can ask for. Wilder, keep dominating, keep winning, keep KOing people, and that's all. I want to hurry up and finish up. We keep saying that Wilder's right hand is going to be the thing to knock out, Joshua, or could really trouble him. But even more than that, the speed. I mean, like, I saw Joshua and Klitschko in the ring, and they looked great. It was a great fight. But one thing I kept thinking the whole time was, man, they sure look a lot slower than Wilder. And I'll end it right there.
KM Star, you are the man. Thanks for calling in, brother. Thank you for being a Patreon hero of the Boxing Voice. We're going to get on to some callers. We're going to go back out to the UK. We got a lot of UK callers tonight. Let me see who's up first. David Beanie, what up?
Hey, guys. So some interesting conversation going on this evening. So with regards to Deontay Wilder, I don't think that fight should be next because obviously with his Joe Washington fight, I don't think his stock is as high as it could be. And I think for in Deontay's own interest, I think he would want probably a couple of fights to to get. And let me just say also that I don't see any way that Wilder Joshua happens in the UK. I think that fight's definitely going to happen in the US, because that's the way, obviously, for Joshua to build his name in the US. So even if maybe the money is bigger in the UK for that fight, I think Joshua will want that fight in the US, and so will Eddie Hearn, because ultimately that's going to build his profile in the US. So, and as far as how a Wilder Joshua fight would go, I know you said if Wilder lands the same right hand that Klitschko landed, then it's lights out. But Gerald Washington did get up from Wilder's right hand, so I don't necessarily think it will be lights out. And I think Deontay's probably going to struggle with Joshua's strength, and if Joshua takes him, to the inside, then I don't really see.
Are you kidding? Are you kidding? Listen, I don't want to lose you as a listener, but let's not forget that your boy was huffing and puffing in the fucking 5th round. He basically gave up, all right? Let's not forget he basically gave up with his hands down, letting Wladimir Klitschko just land right hands. And the problem is Klitschko was old. You know it, and I know it. Any young heavyweight has Joshua with his back on the ropes in the same manner that Klitschko did. It's lights out. They take him out. The next round, he still came out tired and gassed. They take him out. You know it, I know it.
Yeah, I don't think Joshua's going to make the same mistake. I think he'll pace himself better. I don't.
Yeah,
think
he better learn from this fight.
Yeah. He will. He will. I mean, he said, as I said to you last night, he's only had 44 rounds as a professional before this fight. I mean, that is like unheard of, going into a big unification fight with one of, probably Klitschko's top 15, top 10 all-time heavyweight great. I mean, is that unfair to say?
Top
I mean,
15 is fair. Top 10 is pushing it.
Listen, let's understand one thing here, David, right? Because these fighters, they also get mad, right? And look, I understand he probably made history, right? You know what I'm saying? And we're giving him all the credit for that, for sure. Mm-hmm. He deserves every credit. He beat a legend, probably a first ballot Hall of Fame man, Wladimir Klitschko. He did it way better than Tyson Fury, Yep. But this is boxing. This is what we do. Like, after you fight, we start to discuss your next fight. Like, this is why those other fighters are mad at me, because look, you won. He won, but he did show his vulnerabilities for a long time.
He's this fight way earlier.
But for a long time we had him on a pedestal. For a long time we had him on a pedestal. That's all I'm saying.
I still think he'll return to that pedestal. As I said, I think he took this fight way earlier than obviously would have been ideal. But if he wanted to fight Klitschko, it probably had to be now or never, really. And they decided to roll the dice. He's still got loads to learn. He's had virtually I think Muhammad Ali didn't fight for his first world title until he had 100 rounds or something like that under his belt. So I mean, he's ridiculously inexperienced at a professional level. So to be thrown in there, as I said, with Klitschko and still come out on top is great. And
wait a minute. What do you mean to be thrown in there?
Well, he obviously, I guess, all right, he was chosen. He chose to go in there.
Exactly, and he was the favorite. He was the favorite. He was supposed to do what he did in 5.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. But I think that was maybe a little bit unfair in terms of it. I don't think he thought. Well, I don't think his team really thought. They thought he could win, but I don't think they necessarily thought he was going to be the walk in the park. That's a lot of people were saying. I mean, I thought that was. I think, given Klitschko's experience and everything like that, and that was a good version of Wladimir Klitschko last night. Let's not forget that as well.
Hell yeah, that was one of the best versions of Wladimir Klitschko last night. No one expected that version to even show up. Let's be honest.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what was amazing is I thought it was going to be a really good. I thought he was going to jab and hold.
But hey, cue up the music, Matt. But was it Wladimir Klitschko showing up in this another version, or maybe AJ just not being what we thought?
I think it was probably a bit of both. In fairness.
Yeah, I know.
I think it was. Caller, just for the record, I agree with every point you've said, pretty much. So, great call.
And listen, and so do I. What you guys have to understand, and fighters too, stop having to stick in your fucking butts. Yo, this is a radio show. You know, they got to play the devil's advocate. You got to be giving both sides of the fucking track. Nobody want to sit here and just be fucking shining Joshua's balls all night because he was the only heavyweight to beat somebody in 19 fights. Fuck out of here. There's enough of you guys calling in shining his balls. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But as far as
caller, very quickly, I want to ask your opinion. Is your judgment of the Wilder Joshua fight different post this Klitschko fight?
Yes, it is.
For me, not
necessarily saying that you are going to pick Wilder now, but do you think the fight's much closer because of this Klitschko fight?
No, because I just feel like if Gerald Washington can do that to Deontay Wilder, then AJ's 10 times. Well, not 10. I think he's a lot better than Gerald Washington. So what's AJ going to do to Wilder? So, but in fairness to Wilder, obviously he's coming off the injury and all that sort of stuff. I think Wilder was better than what he did against Washington. So, but as I said, I'd like Wilder to have a couple of fights, and I want to see a peak Wilder against Joshua, not coming off
a peak. Peak is code word for I want to see him get old.
Nah, he means
right
now. So hold on, very quickly. Who should Wilder fight next, in your opinion? Just name me one fighter.
No, okay. Can I name two?
Sure, you can name two.
Okay,
if you want.
So obviously the unification with Joseph Parker, or if he wants to make a statement, go and fight Dominic Brazil, who's obviously there's a little bit of beef there already, and go and take him out in 3 rounds or 2 rounds or whatever, and say, look, I got Brazil out in quicker fashion than Joshua. I think obviously that's how you build a fight. It's obviously to fight.
Yeah, but Joshua already beat him, and then the
common opponents is a way to build a fight. That is true.
His 3 minutes are up, David. Thank you for calling in. I just want to say that there is some short-term memory flying around this motherfucker. A couple of weeks ago, Dominic Brazil, people were like, no, I don't want no Brazil fight. Now it's anything. Wilder versus anybody as long as it's not Anthony Joshua is what I'm saying.
I think Wilder should fight like Bellew, if I'm saying his name right. Or
Bellew?
No, you've never said his name right.
Or Joseph Parker. Bellew or Joseph Parker.
Let me tell you something, buddy. That is not cool, bro. That would be dangerous. You know what's funny? I watched that. I wanted to make a separate show on that, man.
What is that? Because you lost me.
Because Bellew was so.
Bellew Wilder. That's dangerous. That's dangerous for Bellew.
The Bellew and Wilder altercation. It was such. I mean, I like Bellew. You got to give him credit. The UK guys know how to talk some good shit. You know what I mean? And he legitimately he ripped Wilder, right? Because what could Wilder say? I mean, at the end of the day, that David Haye win is that David Haye win. You know, it could be argued amongst the hardcore fans, and you can have an asterisk next to it and say, oh, well, we all know that he beat because the Achilles heel, you know. But people already argue that Wilder's win over Stavern is shit. So it really doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. Yeah,
there's people that think Stavern wasn't top 10 at the time when he beat him.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. That's literally insane.
Bellew also said that he has a better boxing mind than Wilder. You know, and only because I know how the fight fans are so fickle, I don't want to see that fight. I don't, even though that I fall victim to the shit talking, right? So hearing Bellew think that he really can win kind of intrigues me, but knowing that Wilder would get absolutely no credit for it, it makes no sense. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. You can beat him in impressive fashion in front of the UK market and make some probably pay-per-view bonus off of it because that fight would be pay-per-view in the UK. But everyone in the US would probably go, it's fucking Tony Bellew. Who cares? That's just reality.
I think that's what's going on with the Stavern name because Stavern was beat by Donna Stevenson and
What? Go to sleep, Cash. Get off that eggnog. We're gonna go to Cash's on Skype.
Yeah, what's up? I fixed my thing this time. So first thing I want to say is Wilder has just got Fox publicity and he did sell out an arena. That is a fact. So he is known. He's not just a nobody. Second of all, AJ has no head movement, footwork. He's a bad boxer, and he gasses out. It's a fact. He gasses out. This is not the first time we've seen this happen. We have seen this before. He didn't improve it last time, so what makes you think he will improve it this time?
Where are you calling in from, Cassius?
UK.
Okay. So
That's all
so
I
you
gotta
were not impressed with AJ, because I was impressed with AJ. I mean,
No, I'm not saying I wasn't
he
impressed
won
with AJ.
in better fashion than Tyson Fury did.
See, I'm not saying I wasn't impressed with AJ, but I'm counting in that Wladimir was coming off 2 years. He was injured in terms of calf thing happened to him. I'm also saying that we have seen him gas out before and never got any kind of improvement. We saw him gas out again, drop his guard for 2 straight rounds, as he admitted later on as well. He gassed out again. This is not the first time happening. It's, I think, the third time happening. So what makes you think he's actually going to improve a reoccurring issue?
Well, all right, Cassius. Thanks for speaking your piece here on the Voice of the People hotline. We're going to move on to Michael. Michael, where you calling in from?
Hi, I'm phoning from London, England.
What's up, brother? Were you at the fight?
No, I wasn't at the fight. I actually saw it on replay because I was supposed to watch it. I had a power nap and I and I woke up when the fight was over, so I had to watch it repeat. But yeah, so but look, it was a fantastic fight, better than what I thought it would be. I thought it was going to be maybe like a Tyson Fury, Klitschko part 2, but it was better than what I thought it would be, and that's probably because Joshua's approach. Fury was more playing around, keeping his distance, trying to throw jabs, and Joshua was just looking for the knockout. So I think that approach made Klitschko a more active in regards to it. That's what made it an entertaining fight. The fight did show that Joshua is still learning. Inexperience. In the 5th round, when he knocks him down, he should have took his time, but he gassed out. In the 6th round, he was completely out. When he got hit, I thought he was out. If that was a young Klitschko, he would have been knocked out. If that was anybody else, they probably would have knocked Joshua out. A more active, athletic person would have done it. But the positive thing about it is that he got back up and he knocked him out. And the most important thing is that now he's learned from that experience. And I think that going forward, I think it's going to be difficult for people to stop him now because of that. One thing, when I heard that Monster piece was talking about why did he not call out Wilder, and I think the reason is because I don't think AJ rates him too highly. He's in previous quotes, he's saying that Wilder should step up his opponents. He needs to step up. He needs to, not keep on fighting lesser opponents. He needs to. And I don't think he rates him too highly. First point. Secondly, obviously that's his opinion. I like Wilder, but that's his view. Second thing, obviously the Tyson Fury and the Twitter beef. Joshua doesn't like Tyson Fury, even though he's pretending that it's all nice and friendly. He doesn't like him. Tyson Fury doesn't like Joshua, and that's why he called him out. And obviously he's going to make a lot more money than Wilder will do. In regards to who's AJ's next opponent should be, I think it's going to be. It depends on. It's got the IBF. If they try and pull that stunt where he has to fight is mandatory, I think it's going to be that. If not, I would like him to fight Ortiz, and then Parker, and then Wilder early probably summer 2018. I don't think that Parker is going to fight Wilder because Joshua is the Floyd Mayweather of the heavyweight division. And the big money is going to be with AJ. If Parker fights Wilder, he's going to get what, 800,000, 1 mil tops, and fight in Alabama. It's not going to happen. If he fights, look at Charles Martin got to fight Joshua. He got 5 million. And
Mike, I gotta cut you. You swinging past the bell. That's illegal in the rounds here. But Jesus, man, the more UK callers, the more fucking roadblocks. Now he doesn't even want Joseph to fight Wilder. He's like, he's not gonna get enough money.
Now,
Jesus.
The reason is because you gave them 5 options, and the 5 options are being brought up, and it's everyone except Deontay, because Deontay, it makes sense that he's the last guy because he's the biggest threat, as I continue to say. He may
Yeah, but they're not saying what you're saying, Casual. You're saying he's last because he's the biggest threat. They're saying he's last because no one knows him.
Yeah, well, that's wrong.
Because he doesn't sell tickets.
They're talking about him. They know him. People know him. The United Kingdom knows him. He was in attendance. AJ knows him. He would dethrone it and become the pay-per-view star. He's going to take his Floyd Mayweather crown, if that's what they're calling it.
Hilarious. Listen, I want you guys to hit that thumbs up button. There are far too many people watching this show and not enough thumbs up. I mean, we could simply not go to callers. It could be a last American standoff here with you guys. What the fuck do you want? Do you really want
should be that why not Wilder next? The next caller who's like, yo, roadblock. Okay, why not Wilder?
Well, but they tell you because he's not a draw. He hasn't fought anyone.
But what does that have to do with the fight? He has the green belt, the most prestigious belt, the most historical belt.
Well, AJ doesn't like Tyson Fury. He's faking it in the media. He doesn't like Tyson Fury.
Tyson Fury beat Klitschko, so I understand that being next, even though Tyson Fury looks like the easiest of the list.
Listen, let's jump out. Who do we got here? What do we got? We went to Jake. Oh, we got Scorsese. What up?
Yo, can you hear me?
Yo.
We always hear you.
All right, well, yeah, I got.
You have a feedback though. Lower your volume.
Huh?
Feedback. Scorsese is AJ. I'm sorry. Is Deontay Wilder a big enough name to fight AJ Anthony Joshua?
I'm glad he didn't say Deontay Wilder name. That's how you should do people who don't do it. 90,000 people shouldn't have to hear about a guy that's going 6 or 7 rounds, whatever. Gerald Washington, they shouldn't have to hear about that guy. At least they mentioned Fury. He's in the UK. I know Fury a joke, but at the end of the day, this was Joshua night. This wasn't time for Deontay Wilder to get no shine.
Nah, it wasn't about the shine. It's a competitive sport. There's opponents.
He knocked out a legend, bro. He knocked out a legend.
He did.
Didn't he? He knocked out a legend. He tried to take him out too. He didn't just go in there to box. Yeah, he gassed out, but nobody gonna hurt him while he's fresh. That's a 250-pound neck, bro. That makes for a chin. Nobody's gonna hurt him while he's fresh. Y'all gotta understand that. For people talking about he gas, he chinny. No, and when he fresh, Klitschko landing that right hand, and you could see in Klitschko's face like, yo, he didn't go nowhere. He didn't go nowhere.
Yo, do you think? Let me ask you a question, right? Do you think Deontay Wilder could beat Klitschko yesterday?
You got a horrible ass connection, man. Scorsese, man, you've been listening to this show for all them years, man. Get your whole life together right now, man. We're gonna move on to San Francisco. I told you that as soon as we started, you had to lower your volume because as soon as we talk, there's an echo. Larry, talk to us.
I've been on hold for 2 hours and y'all come to me once I get in the store, but I'm a burn anyway. Hey, big up to the Boxing Voice. Hey, real quick, Marcus from DC is typically on point, but was tripping tonight. Let me help you understand why. All the money's in the UK because the most popular heavyweight's in the UK, and the lineal champion heavyweight is in the UK, and the best fans who spend money on boxing in the UK. So as long as that's the case, that's going to be the bedrock of boxing. So that's the reason why for that. Secondly, real quick, if Tyson Fury was in shape, then he's the next fight. But we all know he's not, so he should not be considered for that. After that, if the IBF and the WBA let Joshua slide on the mandatories, then yes, bring on the Deontay Wilder fight only because he has the WBC strap. I don't see him as any more of a threat than Luis Ortiz, but if you want to argue that, that's fine. Go ahead and do that. But he does have that strap, so if AJ can get around the mandatories, let's do it that way. But I completely agree with Scorsese, and I rarely ever say that. But this is all about Anthony Joshua. Deontay Wilder in global boxing is an also-ran. He's big on the Boxing Voice, but when it comes to calling people out, of course, Joshua caught out Tyson Fury. That's the big name. That's the man. That's 100,000 people in Wembley fight right there. So that's why he got mentioned and Deontay Wilder didn't. Lastly, Nesh, you and your, hey, if that had been Wilder, what he would have done to Anthony Joshua. Come on, man. Quit with that mess. Does Deontay Wilder feature a pawing jab and a stab jab and control distance like Wladimir Klitschko does? Does he keep his opponent off balance like Wladimir Klitschko does? Does he dictate the pace and cause that gassing like Wladimir Klitschko does? No to all of them. However, he does have the hammer right hand, which makes him a 50-50 with anybody. But at the end of the day, Deontay Wilder is small potatoes when it comes to all those other guys. And that's why he didn't get mentioned. And that's why I'm out.
Damn.
All right, brother. Well, thanks for calling in. We got Mr. NB on Skype.
Hey, Boxing Voice, how's it going, man?
All right, all right. Where are you calling in from?
Calling in from London.
All right. So talk to us, brother.
Yeah, so I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. In regards to the fight last night, I think a lot of people, when they're talking about AJ gassing out and stuff like that, his fitness and stuff like that, for me, I felt that under that setting in front of 90,000 people and the magnitude of that fight, you're always going to be likely, especially if you look at Joshua, he was very tight in the shoulders. You're always going to be a lot likely to expend a lot more oxygen when you're very tense. Do you know what I mean? Probably 2 to 3 times more likely to spend a lot more oxygen. So I felt that's the reason why he gassed out in the fight, not necessarily just because his level of fitness wasn't necessarily as good as it should have been. In terms of Deontay Wilder, I think Wilder's a great fighter. I do see Joshua beating him, but I think the problem with that fight is he's not had enough. I was just looking at his, his biggest purses, and they look around about 1.4 to maybe 1.7 million US dollars. And I just think, I mean, he has a right to make his money too, Deontay Wilder. I think I see, if anything, Hearn will build him up here. I mean, Deontay Wilder's probably maybe even more well known in the UK maybe than he is in the US. I don't know how you feel about that, but I see Hearn maybe feeding him to, feeding Bellew him first, or maybe Dillian White before he puts him in with Joshua to sort of like build up that fight. Basically, I don't know what you think.
I agree with you. That Deontay Wilder's a bigger.
I agree. You got to keep Triple G away from Canelo.
Yeah.
And Triple G being Deontay Wilder, sir.
Yeah, well, I just think, at the end of the day, it's a huge fight. But if they fight now, I don't see the fight happening for another 18 months personally, because I just think that is a fight, just with my promoter head on, that is a fight that has to be built up, because I think over here, people will be receptive to the fight, and I think the hardcore boxing fans in America will be receptive to the fight. But I don't necessarily think that it will do. I don't think it will do the numbers maybe in America in terms of getting the exposure. I just think it's a fight that will get built up. I mean, if I had my way, I think I'd love them to fight tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I just want to know what you think in terms of is that a fight?
We don't believe you. You need more people.
That's just my thoughts on you saying you want him to fight today.
Oh, I'd love it. I'd love them to fight today. Do you know what I mean? Because I just think at the end of the day, the cream always rises to the top, and let's get them rising to the top straight away. Do you know what I mean? I don't want mandatories and stuff like that. Okay, if they have to be fulfilled, they've got to be fulfilled. But if we can find out who the best in the division is straight away, for me, that's great. That's all I've got to say.
Mr. NB, thank you for calling in. We're going to stay on Skype. We got Scott M. Talk to us. Scotty. Beam me up, Scotty. What's going on, buddy? Shy World?
Scotty.
We're moving on from the Shy Man. Who do we got? We got Mike in New York.
Yo, what's good? What's going on? Real quick. The selfish one in me, the selfish person in me, says let them fight tomorrow. Wilder and AJ. That's the selfish person in me. I'll pay fucking $200 for that shit. I don't care. But we live in the real world. In the real world, you have to ask yourself, what's your goal? What's your ambition and mission for this fight? Do you want it to be in the US or in the UK? If you want Wilder and AJ in the US, I would want to see Wilder have that WBO strap on his waist as well. I don't want to have AJ and Wilder on Jimmy Kimmel throwing the fight, and AJ got 3 belts on his hip, and Wilder has a WBC. People, perception is everything. People will be like, "This is our American fighter. How come he's less accomplished than this freaking guy with an accent?" You know, you want to have AJ looking. I mean, Wilder looking great in perception. Above all, if you want to sell the fight and rally up our American troops as far as fan base, you make sure ASAP Wilder knocks the hell out of Parker in New Zealand or wherever it happens. Get that fucking belt, and then with 2 belts on the strap, say, "Listen, motherfucker, I got 2, you got 3. Let's unify for all-out warfare, whether in your country or mine. We can work it out." But you want to have AJ be perceived, not AJ, Wilder to be perceived to be as accomplished as possible. Of course, the selfish part of all of us want to happen ASAP. But fuck it, let Wilder get that Parker fight, take that motherfucking belt, and in the meantime, you let AJ do a little mandatory to heal up, and then in the fall, you fucking do it. Let's do a unification. You know what I'm saying? But the key word is activity. These fighters need to stay active in the summertime with their mandatory and with the unification fight in New Zealand. That's how it happens. That's how it happens. And then after that, whoever's the winner of that, sure, fight Fury. Fury's right now in Spain training. You can see him right now on the IG with Billy Joe Saunders. They're training in Spain for supposedly they're going to do a July bout. You know what I'm saying? He's on the undercard, supposedly, if you trust his word. So let him train, fight in July. He loses his weight. And then in the new year, Fury fights the winner of a fall clash. That's how we do it. Everybody stop arguing. That's the way you do it. That's it. That's my call.
Mike, thanks for calling in as always, brother. Good call, good call. Let's get out to some alumni. We got Milkman in the ATL.
I told y'all a long time ago, the Kirkland will go down in 3 rounds.
Right hand. Strap me up. Who's next? I got milk, baby.
What's up, man? I'm glad to be back. I'll jump right into it. You know, I predicted that Joshua would knock Klitschko out. I thought he would do it a little bit earlier, but he got him out of there. But I will say that I was very impressed with Klitschko. I think he still gives anybody in the heavyweight division problems. So I don't think he necessarily needs to retire. I think he could still fight if he wanted to. But I was very impressed. Now, as for what Wilder and Joshua should do next, you know, there are 2 sides to this coin. On one side, we have what would satisfy the immediate desires of us hardcores, and that would be to see them fight next. But then there's another side to this coin that we need to think about, and that is what would be the better move for boxing, right? Making this fight as big as possible. And that might mean delaying it a bit, letting it cook a little while. Kind of like, you know, it almost reminds me of the Mayweather-Pacquiao situation where, you know, as soon as this fight was presented to the public, everybody was itching to see it happen, right? But it didn't. And what happened? Over the course of a few years, I'm not saying that Joshua and Wilder will wait that long. I doubt that they would take years to fight, but the public became antsier and antsier. More people gained knowledge of the fight. And when it did happen, it was huge. So let me ask y'all this, and I'll tell you what I think should happen next. Could the fight be made bigger if they wait? And is it riskier to make them wait because of the possibility of one of them losing?
I mean, that's always the possibility. You know, losing is always an option. That's why you don't try to let things marinate. But it's understandable. You know, hearing everybody's call and everybody's reason, it makes sense to build it up if you're going to make a big fight out of it. But I thought we were trying to move away from the era of pay-per-view, but it does make sense to build it up. But can Wilder get that fight with Joseph to kind of do what Mike from New York said, you know, have enough titles when they're both sitting on Jimmy Kimmel and all this stuff, you know what I mean? Because Joseph might do what one of our UK callers said earlier, like not fight Wilder and instead fight Joseph and fight Anthony, which represents more money because it does.
Now, this is what I would do personally. I would have them fight Nick because, let's face it, Joshua and Wilder are really good, but they have flaws. And I think, being in the heavyweight division, anything can happen. So I say let them fight next in the UK, cash it out.
Milkman, thanks for calling in. I want to ask everybody listening on YouTube to hit that thumbs up button. It's obviously very important, and it helps with the visibility of the show. We're going to keep these phone lines moving. From the ATL, we're going to Donald in Richmond, California. What's going on, brother?
What's up? Hey, it's a lot of stuff that I'm going to say, and I don't agree with all of it, and some of it do. Like, I don't agree that Wilder and Joshua's not going to fight next, but I can understand why, because just like the same reason why Canelo keeps avoiding Triple G. I mean, Wilder is not going to bring a lot of money, and he's the biggest risk. Although he has the belt, they're still looking at it like, so what, he has the belt. It's not a lot of money, and he's a big risk. Wilder's really at the bottom of the list as far as how Hearn and Joshua are looking at it. He's at the bottom of their list, although we look at it as, why is he not at the top of your list? Like I said, he doesn't represent a lot of money. He's the biggest threat. Also, I think that, that they can both do a fight. I think that Wilder should go for Parker and get the belt. So then it can make it be more intriguing and say, look, we all know you don't want to fight me because I'm a risk. But guess what? I got 2 fucking belts. And just like how you said, they're all saying, oh, Wilder's a bum. He hasn't fought, he fought 38 bums. Okay, well, if he's such a fucking bum, go take his belt from him. If he's that much of a fucking bum, go take this bum's belt. I don't understand how they could say that stuff about him, but then at the same time, technically kind of ducking him a little bit, So, and also, I think I can understand why Joshua didn't call out Wilder. Like one of you guys said, Eddie Hearn probably went in his ear and said, look, after the fight's over, if you pull this shit off, don't fucking mention Wilder's name. He's here. We don't even want to call him in the ring. Leave that shit alone. So I can understand why he said that. He said, fuck it, Fury. Because Fury was talking a whole bunch of shit to him. So I can see why Joshua could say, look, I want Fury. For one, this guy was talking a lot of shit about me. For two, he was actually the Lino champion, the one who beat, Klitschko. So since I've just beat Klitschko, let me just go ahead and fight him. And I would like to see Joshua fight him. And I would like for Joshua to just go beat him and get his ass out of the way. And like Tyson Fury, okay, Joshua beat you. He knocked your ass out. Now shut the fuck up. Don't say nothing on Twitter no more. You're not undefeated no more. You're out. You're no longer relevant. Joshua beat you. And move forward to, the Wilder fight. And that's what I would like for it to go, like that way, What do you guys think about that?
Well, Matt.
Matt's eating.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, look, again, listening to everyone's call, it's actually got to go down that way because of the business and the politics of boxing. You gotta go with the bigger fight, build it up, let it marinate. Joshua has to continue to increase his brand. The Fury fight makes sense. It's a hometown fight that is going to be, big business. So it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Class inbound in Texas. What's going on, brother? Damn, we should have met up, man. What part of Texas you in?
Hey, how's it going? Yeah, so it would have been cool to meet in Texas, but I'm actually not in Texas anymore. I'm in Utah, so but I will be able to make it to a TVB appreciation night if y'all do it in Vegas anytime soon, because I'm only 4 hours away now.
Sweet. No plans yet. That's kind of the end of the year, but we'll see what's going on.
All right. Well, let's talk about this for a second. I want to talk about the fight because I think we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves real quickly, but I'll talk about it. So Anthony Joshua, Wladimir Klitschko, yesterday I talked about how great it was, and it really was a great fight. Vladimir, like I said yesterday, Vladimir had a really nice jab. It was bothering Joshua all fight, and actually that people keep saying just the right hand. Did you see what Wladimir was doing with the left hand before he hit him with the right? All he was doing, he wasn't even hitting Joshua at times with the jab. All he would do was kind of move it in Joshua's face, block his vision, and then throw the right hand. And Joshua kept falling for it. It was like clockwork. Every time he would do it, it was just bam, and that right would hit right on the money. So I think Wilder should take some notes with that, because when he does use his jab, it's really nice. When he doesn't, he looks really awkward. But along with that, how am I going to say this? I understand, like Wilder. Okay, so AJ is what Wilder would be if he was in the UK. Like, AJ was afforded the opportunities that Wilder was not. Like, because the UK has the best fans. And that's just the truth. If AJ was in America, he wouldn't get this opportunity out of Wladimir Klitschko. Wladimir never offered Deontay a fight. Parker's doesn't seem too interested. Tony Belly's just talking until he actually comes up and does something. And even then, Wilder's not going to get credit for beating up a cruiserweight. And we keep saying Adonis Stevenson, he couldn't even beat Nathan Cleverly one of the 2 times they fought. So I'm not going to pay. I don't want to watch a massacre. So, like, cut that noise. Wilder should try to go after the Parker fight. Like, he should do whatever it takes to get Parker in the ring, because that's the only way I think that he'll be able to get Joshua's attention. And Joshua and Hearn they know Wilder's there. And do I think Wilder beats Joshua? I don't know. I'm favoring Joshua right now, but Wilder needs an opportunity to fight. And just the fact that they're ignoring him is just, I mean, Wilder's in a no-win situation. He can't fight the top people, so he'll fight a bum. And because he's fighting bums, he's a bum beater, but the top people don't want to fight him. So, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, but it'll turn out okay. It'll turn out okay for him, but that's really all I've got.
Class and bound. Thanks for calling in. As always, we're going out to
very quickly, I want to get your opinion on that, Ness, about the idea that if Wilder was in the UK, he would be like a Joshua. He would have got the opportunities that Joshua would have had.
It's not true. Let's see how well Anthony Yardy does, right? Let's see. I mean, don't forget, what about this other kid, Izunu, right? Like, where's he at? Where's he based out of?
Not the UK.
What is it? Australia?
Well, if he was based out of the UK, why would he fight Dominic Brazil in Alabama?
Because he signed to Heyman?
Yeah, but if he was in the UK, he wouldn't be signed with Heyman. He'd be signed with Eddie Hearn or Frank Warren, most likely.
But there's other fighters signed with Al Heyman in the UK, buddy. Like,
yeah, but those fighters are big, and they moved over from the pond. They moved across the pond and then signed with Al Heyman. James DeGale, Carl Frampton, guys like that were big in the UK, then moved and signed with Al Heyman.
Okay, I hear you.
I just doubt Izunu is.
No, I don't know. I'm just asking. I'm just clearly asking the question. Let me get to New Jersey. I mean, what up? I mean. Getting left in the dust. Ernest from Huntsville, Alabama. What up?
What up, guys? Deontay, I've gone to all the Birmingham fights, and I can say that Deontay is really not that well known among non-boxing fans in Alabama. He's just not. He's just not. They don't tune into him even when you get it on free TV, because I asked all the guys at work, because I promoted him. But after last night's fight, I think he can knock out Anthony Joshua. But I do agree with all the callers. The Joseph Parker belt, Deontay will have to go after. And he can go after that belt after Parker does what he does this weekend. And it's going to have to be either in Vegas or in Birmingham in late July. Parker can do turnarounds. He fought 5 times last year. So Deontay's going to have to go after Parker. And Eddie Hearn is not going to put Joshua in the ring with Deontay after that Klitschko fight. He's just not. Eddie Hearn is not going to allow that to happen. It's just not, fellas. I mean, I want it to happen, but it's not. Deontay's going to have 2 belts before he fights Anthony Joshua. And there's no guarantee that that Parker fight will not be a cakewalk. I'm going to tell you now for Deontay. The Parker fight will not be a cakewalk. You know, he might end up in trouble like AJ last night if he takes Parker lightly.
Hey, Ernest, very quickly, I want to get your take on this.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say that Eddie Hearn will not allow Anthony Joshua to fight Wilder next. I think we all agree with you. Like, we're all realistic in the fact that if we put on that promoter hat, we know that that's not the fight that's happening next. But we all want that fight to happen next. So why don't we have that public outcry? Because public outcry and public perception changes business.
Outcry, man. At least the mentality.
Think about think about how, and this is very different than boxing. And I'm not going to dwell on it, but like the United Airlines situation and how visceral it was online about United. That made them change and actually apologize to that person and gave him millions of dollars. Why can't that boxing community have that same outcry when we see bullshit fights? And we don't get the good fights. It takes 6 years to get those good fights. Why do we accept this shit like it's just natural? It's not natural.
The public outcry has to happen on both sides of the pond, not just one.
No, you're right. You're right about that 100%. That has to be on both sides, or it won't be effective.
Ernest, thank you for calling in all the way in Alabama. We appreciate it. 845, you're live. First time calling in?
Yeah. First time calling. What's up, man?
How long have you been listening, brother?
Probably like 2 years. This is my first time calling in.
2 years. So you know the tradition. I'm going to go ahead and play this first time caller intro. You let the world know where you're calling from and what your name is, all right?
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yo, this is Terrell, the Hitman from New York, Brooklyn.
Terrell, what's good, brother? How'd you call this fight last night?
I hear what everybody's saying. I agree with people like Wilder needs to get the 2 belts, but here I think the question is this: when it comes to Wilder, yeah, he doesn't have the technical skill and stuff like that, but the question is the right hand that Klitschko is throwing. Wilder can get the same right hand in way faster and way more times in the fight. And if you're Eddie Hearn and if you're these dudes, they know that Joshua's chin is kind of suspect, so they're gonna wait for that fight. So I just think we're gonna have to wait for that fight because it's too dangerous. These people could say, "Oh, Wilder's a bum, Wilder's this and Wilder's that," but that right hand is gonna get in, and it's gonna get in quick, and it's gonna get in more than once, and so it's a dangerous fight. So we're gonna have to wait for it.
Well, all right, brother. That's all you got?
Yeah, that's all I got. Now my question is, I got a question for you guys. I just think that, what do you guys think about that? Do you guys think that like what I'm saying is true? Like he's not going to be able to stand up to the right hand? Because I see people saying, well, he'll be able to get up. He'll be able to get up, and he could clip Wilder. I mean, it's a 50-50 fight, but I just want to know what you guys think. I mean, it's
I don't know.
Dangerous.
I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know. I think it's very possible that either guy can hit the other with one shot, clean shot, and put the other out cold. I do believe that. But I think when we get this fight, I think both guys are going to rise to the occasion, and we're going to see a really fight. I think both guys are going to take shots. But I think both guys are going to take shots from each other that we did not expect. That's what I'm saying. I think both guys have a stronger chin than we expect.
But wait,
man.
But
you on one over there.
But hold on, bro.
Fucking brownies is good.
What? You don't think that Joshua has a better chin than we think, and we don't think that Wilder has a better chin than we think too? You don't think that's a possibility?
I'm simply saying.
No, I think that Joshua has a good chin, but he got hit and he was out for almost 2.5 rounds. Wilder would have jumped on him, and people say, "Oh, he'll get clipped." The way he got hit by Klitschko,
if he gets hit by Wilder like that, and he's on Queer Street, he's not gonna be able to just come back and clip Wilder.
But we know that Wilder's also so much more wild, and if Joshua can get in on the clinch, he can dominate on that. He can control him and muscle him around. You know that. Come on. Like, I'm just saying, like, it's not clear cut either way. Like you said, it's 50-50. I think if for anyone to have a very strong opinion about this fight, I think it's just not accurate to how close of a fight this is.
But Klitschko, in my opinion, Klitschko lost that fight. If Klitschko would have jumped on him, it would have been over. The dude spit out his mouthpiece. Did you see that? He was done. He almost gave up.
Terrell, you're punching after the bell, baby. We give all our callers 3 minutes.
But good call. Hey, for a first-time caller, amazing call. Loved it.
Nah, man, he's been listening for 2 years. He was well.
He knows how to do it. Yeah.
He's been sparring and he's been in the gym. Great call, Terrell. We're gonna make
The
sure
shadow boxing in the mirror, you know.
We're gonna make sure that they get you down. But yo, he's got a point, man. That's what I said. That 5th and 6th round, bro. Joshua went to hell and back, bro. He did spit out his mouthpiece. Like, none of these things are being talked about. And you know what? Wilder's wild, but he's wild when he has his man hurt. And when his man is hurt, he gets wild trying to finish him. And 90% of the time, he finishes him. There's only one guy that didn't get knocked out. But we're going to keep these phone lines moving. You don't need to hear from us. There's plenty of guys you could talk to, like Mr. Yes, sir. What's going on, brother?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. First of all, I would like to say I think this fight is being overhyped. It wasn't as exciting as a lot of people think it was. The first 4 rounds were nothing was happening. Joshua won it just because he was throwing, 10 more air punches that round. The 5th and 6th round was action-packed and because of what happened. And then basically we just saw a young kid getting gassed out and a 41-year-old putting more punches together. And then the 11th round, all that's all the fight was, 3 rounds. So people calm down. It wasn't that exciting of a fight. The fight, I would say, it happened. I made a prediction on the HBO and Showtime contract thing. I played that shit. I don't care. I told everyone that Joshua was going to come in too heavy, get tired, and Klitschko was going to take over at the 7th round. That's what happened. So this fight wasn't too hard to predict. And as far as the UK people putting all these roadblocks for Wilder,
except Joshua knocked Klitschko the fuck out, dropped him multiple times. What do you mean it wasn't hard to predict?
Yeah, but Klitschko
it was much closer than most people thought too. It was a much closer fight than what people thought. Come on.
Yo, he said Klitschko always had that chin problem. That's the same thing I said. Matt said, "Yo, how you gonna talk about a chin that he hasn't been touched for a decade?"
Wait, you saying he has chin issues? But look how many shots he took. Obviously, his chin is not as bad as we thought. Come on, Mr. Yes, sir. You're a smart man.
Listen.
Very true.
No, his chin is the same issue because when he gets hit, his legs disappear on him. 10 years ago and last night, the same exact shit happens. So he still has that chin problem. When he gets hit, his legs lose all control.
Do you remember that lead hook? No, do you remember that lead left hook he caught? And he just stood there and took it and threw back a 1-2? Come on, man.
His legs were bad, yo. And that, yo, he was
not from that left hook. In the 11th round, yeah, because he was hurt.
It's the same problem he had 2 years ago.
He was eating the whole night, and he was taking them.
Wilder's fight value. I didn't hear you. I'm sorry. I don't want my time to go. How about if UK has a roadblock problem? How about AJ fighting Lourdes Briedis as his next fight, a blown up cruiserweight? I don't see them going too happy about that one. You know, AJ versus fucking what's his name? Briedis, a cruiserweight champ. If they want Wilder to fight Barry, that's the same bullshit fight. And as far as people saying, "Oh, Wilder needs this WBO belt," it would be nice. It'd be nice to have the equal balance out. But fuck it, Ward didn't go get Stevenson's belt. He beat the shit out of Kovalev. Deontay Wilder has what he needs. He has that belt. If AJ wants to be the man, he's gonna have to get that belt. He don't need, that's all Wilder needs. Wilder has what he needs. He don't need nothing else. It's AJ who needs to go get Wilder's belt. Wilder is calling out the fight, and AJ and the whole UK ain't calling for this fight. So it's a bullshit. And I think Wilder is just gonna wait it out. And I think they're all hoping that somebody else gets lucky enough to beat Wilder because That's all they're hoping for. They know if people want to play the triangle game, if Washington could do that to Wilder, what is AJ going to do? Then fuck. If 40-year-old right hand could do that to AJ, what is Wilder? So that triangle cancels each other out right there. And I think Wilder will blitz AJ out. And for all people saying they want Fury next for AJ, that's like me fighting AJ next. I don't have a boxing license. It's the same fucking fight, you know. And you guys should be careful on what you wish for, because Fury will box the shit out of AJ. You saw how well he moved around Klitschko, and Klitschko had AJ tired. Fury will tire the shit out of AJ and make him look just as stupid as he did Klitschko. Be careful what you wish for in that fight. That's my call. Bomb squad all day, baby.
Mr. Yes, sir, in Anaheim. Good call. Thanks for calling in. We're going out to Santiago in LA. Talk to us, brother.
Hey guys, what's up? Not much. Just here celebrating my niece's first birthday and listening to the Boxing Voice as always. Crazy show you guys have been having so far regarding the aftermath. And honestly, what else is there to say? You know, like I said in the immediate reaction call, we saw shades of the Klitschko that fought Samuel Peter, but this time around, Joshua, you know, was able to show us a couple facets from getting hurt. You know, he got hurt. He found a way to, you know, take rounds off so he could recover. And in the 11th round, he was able to come out just like he did in the 5th round, a little bit more controlled, knock down Klitschko and get the stoppage. You know, all to Joshua. Obviously, he still needs to work on his cardio and his stamina, because, you know, if that continues to be an issue for him, I can easily see Wilder taking him into the deeper round just like Klitschko did and basically tiring himself out, especially since Wilder does have that knockout punch in that right hand. But as for who he should fight, you know, barring the IBF mandating him to fight his mandatories, he could take on, you know, Joseph Parker or Luis Ortiz. You know, I think those would be good fights for him. As for Wilder, you know, likewise to him, he could go and take on Joseph Parker, get a belt, or take on Ortiz, who at one point was the WBA interim title, and, you know, basically build up the fight, because at the end of the day, this is a business. You know, we want what we want, but we still got to let these fights marinate, just like they marinated Sugar Ray Leonard versus Thomas Hearns. So that's all I really have to say regarding topics at hand. Anything you guys want to ask me, feel free to ask. Otherwise, that's my call.
Santiago, if Wilder and AJ fight within 12 months, is it happening in the UK or the US?
The money makes sense in the UK. I really can't see them doing it here in the US.
Well, thank you, Santiago. I will talk to you later, most likely.
Let me get out to the Skype machine. We went to
and very quickly, have you noticed that like a lot of UK callers have said that Wilder Joshua needs to happen in the US, while so many US callers are saying the exact opposite? I think that's interesting.
Yeah, because the US callers are willing for Wilder to go over there for glory, you know, and the UK callers want to build it up so that Joshua could come over and become a global star. I'm gonna try Scott M again, and if not, we're gonna move straight to the next one. Scott M, you ready?
Can you hear me, Ness?
Yes, we do.
Hi, guys. Yeah.
First time calling in, Scott?
Yeah, first time caller. Been listening for about 8 months. So
8 months. There. You want that first time caller intro? You know, it always goes south with the Skype callers because it's odd to see your name there and then say, "Hey, what's your name?" when I'm reading your name. You know what I'm saying? But you're calling in from where exactly?
Scotland.
Scotland. I'm assuming you watched the fight. So what's your take on what you witnessed?
Oh, the fight was a lot more than what I was expecting. Can't complain with the sheer entertainment that had. Everything you guys covered that last night and the immediate reaction. It was more obviously we've got the Sky feed, and with Wilder being there doing the commentary and the post fight, him himself saying the plan, we've got this for further down the line, end of the year, Parker next, and then that's when him and Bellew got into a bit of a chat. I mean, Bellew did go bright red, but was saying he was easy to fight him. But yeah, I mean, you want to see the best of the best, but we know it's business. Money talks, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, look, I was sent some audio that we'll probably be doing a show on tomorrow. There's some audio going around. I don't know how exclusive it is, but there's audio going around of Wilder and Bellew having a conversation about the negotiations. So
yeah, that was it. After the ring interviews, it then went back to the panel. You had Wilder, Johnny Nelson, and Tony Bellew. So they were doing the post-fight coverage, and that was where they were talking about it. And Wilder was blatantly saying, then, yeah, end of the year, Tony Bellew saying AJ's now the new king. And it was interesting to see Wilder just playing it really, really, really quiet, kind of cool. But so whether or not, as we were saying last night, whether he was told last night, keep it quiet. But the other thing is, I didn't see it as much as calling out Fury. Is more like over here, it's a case of where are you? You talk a lot, but you're not even here at the show. You're nothing. It was more of a put down rather than a call out. That's my personal take on it. Yeah, Fury fight would be big, but realistically, that's got a longer time to happen than a chance of Wilder or Parker or any of the two mandatories.
well, Scott, thanks for waiting on the line. We tried to get to you early. Sorry we couldn't get to you sooner. You sure?
No, I just couldn't unmute my phone. It was first time signing up Skype, so it was doing updates and I couldn't push the button quick enough. So yeah, I've been sitting waiting. It's cool. Enjoying the show. I hope to call in as much as I can. Obviously over here, time differences are always an issue, but definitely catch up on the repeat. So keep doing what you're doing, guys. Yeah, I hope to get more involved.
Scott, man, thank you so much. Listen, make sure that you subscribe to us on YouTube because we do a ton of spontaneous shows. We do a 12 noon Eastern time show, which probably puts it around 6 o'clock p.m. UK time. I don't know how that works out for you being in Scotland, but yeah. And then we do an even later one, probably about 10:30 or 11:30 Eastern. Whenever news, demands it. We're definitely trying to give you guys as much content as possible. We're going to go ahead and stay on Skype here. We're going to go from the UK. We're going to go out to Vegas, right? To Robert Ortiz.
Well, actually, I'm in Los Angeles right now, dude. Doing my favorite thing to do in LA, and that is try to find fucking parking, dude. I don't get this city, man. But
yo, Robert, you're not gonna come say hi to me? What up? You wanna go out for a drink or anything like that? I'm hurt.
Wild card at 10:30 tomorrow morning. We could settle this.
You gonna pay me? I'm the A side.
Hating on LA. I'm talking about that was a great fucking fight yesterday, man. And I wish boxing fans would appreciate it a little more because a lot of your callers, I just noticed, are just being really negative about it. It's almost like no matter what, you can't prove that you're great. Like you outbox a guy who has not been fucking hurt. He has dominated for over a decade, and he gets outboxed.
No, that was 2 years ago, because the last 2 years he was dominated.
Well, okay, he wasn't dominated. He got outboxed.
Yes, he was.
By one punch.
He got outboxed.
Nestor, can I give my take? You have every show you ever do. All right, I'm gonna give you my take, and that is that Klitschko dominated for over a decade, and he got outboxed. We called it boring. Now he gets stopped and dropped 3 times, and the other guy got hurt. You don't think you're gonna fucking take some punches against a fucking legend, a guy with one of the highest knockout percentages in heavyweight history? Yeah, he got hurt, but he got back fuck up and knocked him out. Like, that's amazing shit. You're talking about a legend and a young lion who really hasn't proven anything. And they're at that perfect turning point to see who's got what, you know. And I think, you know, boxing fans have that problem. If you have a dominant fighter, you call his division weak. And if they, you know, look kind of bad here and there, you call that fighter weak. And it just doesn't make sense to me. So like, it's just the same thing as when Golovkin struggled against Daniel Jacobs. I mean, why can't Daniel Jacobs be great, you know? And Golovkin was amazing, and he got outboxed. You know, it's like the same thing. And that was a treat to watch. It was an amazing fight. I watched it again just now, and there was just a lot of heart on display, a lot of skills, the adjustments that each fighter made technically to, you know, each do what they had to do to win. And that was awesome, man. And, you know, you talk about Klitschko's chin problems and shit. Well, what happens when you always know what happens when Klitschko gets hit. Well, he got fucking back up and almost won the round. That's what happens. Or he almost stopped him in that round, in the round of the year, dude. That was a great fight. I hope fans enjoyed it as much as I did. But it seems like there's a lot of people who don't appreciate it for what we saw. And that was two of the best fighters in the world, an exciting heavyweight fight. And now it opens the door to even more spectacles. So I'm stoked on it. Peace.
All right, Robert Ortiz. Let's see. We got Muhammad in West Africa.
What up? So the fight was great. You know, I'm not going to hate on the fight. It was really great. And like I said yesterday, Joshua proved a lot of things as far as his chin, as far as finding a second win, which I really doubted. But as far as his options, if I was Eddie Hearn or even Joshua himself, I would stay away from Wilder and Luis Ortiz right now. Because like I said yesterday, he cannot take a right hand from Wilder. He doesn't have enough head movement. He needs to work on some stuff before facing Wilder. So that's a big fight down the road, maybe a year from now. But anything before that is premature. Now he can fight Tyson Fury, easy money, because Fury cannot knock him out. He doesn't have the power to knock him out. So he can, meanwhile he's fighting him, he can work on some things, improve on some stuff, you know, movement, like I said, head movement and everything. And then he can fight another soft touch, you know, just to make money, because right now he's a cash cow. So you cannot risk him, because he can fight a cab driver right now and he will sell out the stadium. That's it, because what he did yesterday, he should ride on his victory of yesterday. That's my main point. You know, put money in the bank, get, you know, some decent wins, and then face Wilder. Because right now, I don't like his chances against Wilder, because Wilder, what happened yesterday when he got, you know, he got hurt in the 5th round. I'm not even talking about the 6th round. If it was Wilder, he would have finished him off. Because Wilder is a beast. When he got you hurt, he just come out to swing. And it doesn't matter if it's wild or not looking good, he will get you out of there. So let's keep that fight marinating. You know, Wilder can get that belt against Parker. So each one will have 2 belts. And that will be a huge fight a year from now. That's my take on it. And that's basically my call.
All right, Muhammad, thanks for calling in. We're going to go to, I believe, John. Where you calling in from, John? First time calling? John on Skype. John McLean, right? McLean? John McLean?
Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me?
Loud and clear. Where you calling in from, my friend?
London, the UK, my man.
First time calling in?
Absolutely first time, my man.
Great. Man, you sound like you got a Jamaican accent going on over there.
Yeah, man, I really are the old school. I'm an old man, grandfather and thing, you know, so I'm an old school boxing fan.
Sweet, man. I'm actually going to Jamaica for my birthday in a couple months. But talk to me, brother. What's on your mind? What did you think of this great heavyweight fight last night?
I think it's one of the best fights I've seen in a long time. And like 2017 is kicking. It's smoking with, I'm telling you, 2017, the fights this year, I'm enjoying boxing again. As I said, my whole school is a long time I've been doing this thing. As for the Joshua and the Wilder thing, I'm not really that interested in looking at that fight. I'll tell you why. Joshua just is new in the thing. He's been around a long time, a short time. Wilder's been around a long time. You know how long I've been waiting to see Wilder fight Klitschko? regardless of the Tyson Fury or what Josh was done. I've been waiting a long time. I still want to see that fight. Now, Klitschko is going to bring a crowd and money to anywhere he goes. Was Wilder to fight him now, and we see how he deals with, Wilder deal with him, or vice versa. Then we'll have a good yardstick on how things is going to go with Anthony Joshua. But it's just that I've been waiting for a long time to see Wilder fight Klitschko, and Joshua shouldn't have fought him before Wilder. Wilder's been around too long. That unification should have been Wilder. He's been a champion while Klitschko was a champion, and that didn't happen. I still want to see it.
But you do understand why it was Joshua and not Wilder, right?
Yes, at this time, I mean, like, ask me that 3 years ago, 2 years ago, I don't understand. I said, I've been waiting from that long time to see it. So I still want to see it. It's, the reason why it was Joshua now is Joshua wanted it. He says yes. He didn't say, well, this, and he didn't make no excuses. He said yes. He wasn't ready for a title fight when Martin called him out. He just said, yeah, man, I'll take it. Now, that's what, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not interested in fighters winning their fame on Twitter or on Facebook. I want them to do it in the ring. And a lot of fighters nowadays, they're doing it in the ring. Joshua don't seem too interested in that. He wants to prove that he's a bad man in the ring. Just like Lennox Lewis said, I want to prove I'm the best heavyweight of my era. Most of that fighters don't want to prove that. They want to make a lot of noise on Twitter, play little girl games by calling each other's names and stuff like that. But as a elder, I don't have no time for that. I want to see who's going to trump who the artist and find out who's the best in the division. Anthony Joshua seems to want to prove that, just like Lennox Lewis wanted to prove it. Evander Holyfield wanted to prove it. Whole school. That's what I'm interested in.
John?
Sir.
Great call, my friend. I want to thank you for calling in. I'm going to go to some other callers here. We got Chris Carlson from Rope-A-Dope Radio. Talk to us, brother.
Hey, what's up, Ness? What's going on, guys?
What up, Chris?
Enjoying the show.
I just want to say you guys are the hardest working podcast out there. Let's get that out front, okay? So
you, man.
That's what a of course, man. Of course. That's what a heavyweight championship fight is supposed to look like. Now, obviously, you know, dudes falling on the canvas back-to-back rounds, you can't always get that, but these two laid it on the line. And, you know, honestly, the way Klitschko looked, the flaws that Joshua showed, I wouldn't doubt if, since they have that 2-fight deal, I wouldn't doubt if they do the rematch later in November or whatever. They said that, I think Eddie Hearn's calling out November or December for the rematch. I would like to see it, to be honest with you. I think there's obviously the money talks with that as well, but, you know, Showtime, by that time, they'd have plenty of time to plan it. They could even do an afternoon show on CBS and sell the shit out of it because of the highlights, you know what I mean, and all the buzz it's gotten here on ESPN. I think it was like 4 minutes into ESPN. They did a sizable segment on it. Kovalev Ward, other fights, they didn't barely even talk about it. So I really think that might be the way they go. I also agree with you about, yeah, I would like to see, you know, Deontay stay busy or at least get to Parker, right? But I do agree with you guys that Parker would probably go for the Bellew fight. But then again, Bellew just came off a big money fight. And Deontay Wilder is a bigger pay-per-view fight in the UK with Bellew than it is with Parker. So it really comes down to the pole position of Eddie Hearn and AJ. Is he willing to sacrifice Bellew? Probably at this point, because he's at the end of the road, and Bellew won't be afraid because it's more money than Parker, and he just was in the ring with Hay, no matter what happened to his Achilles. So that could be. I could see a Wilder Bellew, even though I totally get what you're saying about that fight, Ness, and the size and the power and all that. But I could see that happening. Obviously, Hearn's not afraid to sacrifice. Look, I mean, he brought Kell Brook up. I'm not saying he sacrificed him, but he's not afraid to take risks. But if Wilder can't get those fights, Ortiz, maybe even Fury. I mean, they're probably going to want to keep him away from Fury even more than Deontay because of that style. So I think it all comes down to, you know, is Hearn willing to put up Bellew? It's a bigger pay-per-view in my mind just because Wilder has been on the scene more. He's got the power, and he can hype that fight up over there. You know what I mean? That's kind of my take on it. Could you imagine if you want to get his name bigger here? We know Joshua can't just come over and start selling pay-per-views. But if you put him on Showtime again or even CBS during the afternoon, that could do pretty big numbers. You're looking at over 2 million during the day probably, you know, as far as peak numbers anyway. But that's about all I got. But like I said, a championship fight last night, that was a hell of a fight. You know, on boxing Twitter, they're still going at it, complaining, talking about the PBC, talking about this, going back and forth. It's like, dude, why can't you just shut up? 2017 is a great year. It was a great fight. Get over it. Be happy for once.
But what exactly are they going back and forth on Twitter about?
Not necessarily about like PBC with this, just like overall. Like boxing fans argue about PBC's dying, PBC's the worst, or HBO is awful, and you know boxing fans argue about pointless shit instead of talking about great fights. Is what Chris was saying, I think.
Go over there. They got to go over there. It's true. Wilder said he's ready to go. Isn't Gervonta Davis, a Heyman guy, going over there? Isn't Spence going over there? So it's kind of been a little beef today about just random stuff. Obviously, it has to do with the whole Cold War thing in general, but it's just like, can't we just enjoy it? Both sides of any argument, can't we just enjoy it? And then you also got the Furies that are coming up saying he'll kill everybody. Well, that may be true. I think if he gets in shape, he has the style to do it. But it's just the old argument of he beat an old man, blah, blah, blah. You know, I don't know. Did he look fresh? Yeah, it looked like it. But then again, some people have been saying with the Anthony Joshua, he showed flaws too. You know what I mean? So it just enjoy the fight and get over yourselves. Why do we have to make – and I'm talking about, you know, the Steve Kims. And when the media gets into this too, it's just constant negativity no matter what, talking about some shit that doesn't even have to do with this fight.
Well, Chris, man, thank you for calling in. You already know that number, 14255695241, the voice of the people hotline, and this is the place to voice your opinion. Obviously, we're going to get to some other callers. We got Jay Will on Skype.
Hey, what's up, y'all? What's up? What's up, Boxing Voice? Just let me know you can hear me.
Loud and clear, brother.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, man. So I know I only got a little bit of time. The fight was amazing. I watched it twice so far, just so I can see all the minutia that happened into it. And I mean, I said it before at a different call that AJ is the truth. I like his style. I mean, a lot of people say they don't like the fact that he's so muscular, or man, I love it, man. I love superheroes fighting one another. It's beautiful. And let's just be clear. The Ukrainian machine was a superhero for 10 years, and he just got dethroned. It's as simple as that. You know, as they say, Father Time has no losses. So it's all good. Now, in terms of Wilder, me personally, people got UK bias. I will and will always have American bias. So I want to see, me personally, I want to see Wilder go over there and fight Tony Bellew. Why? Not because it's a great fight. No. I want him to lay him out the same way he did Spilka. I'm talking about have this boy on the canvas or punch him out the ring, have him in the hospital, have videos on YouTube and Twitter of people coming to see Bellew coming out with a hospital gown on saying, I didn't see it coming. I just didn't see it coming. That way, that will build a fight. You see what this guy did to Tony Bellew? Who cares if it's an old, washed up, used to be cruiserweight? The fact that he laid him out, and it's clear, when you see these guys on Sky Sports, Deontay towers over Tony. So you know Tony Bellew's all mouth, but a good mouth turns into a good mouthpiece can get people interested into a fight. So I personally want to see that and then have it built up that way. You know, I think that would be a great fight. You've got the American superhero, Deontay, bomb squad Wilder versus, you know, the London Bruiser. You know, I think that's the way to build it up in my personal opinion. But once again, man, Boxing Voice, you guys are killing it. I don't call it as much. Keep it going.
Jay Will, man, thank you for calling in, man. Continue to spread the word. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing around here, hit that thumbs up button. It only helps with the visibility of the show, and you can actually go a step further and drop us a 5-star review. Matt, it's about that time, man. Pull up those reviews. Let's not be sloppy. Pull them up. Let me know when you got them ready. We need to drop a few of those from
I got them right now. I had them up this whole time, ready to give off these reviews. Because we have one review from one of the best callers into the show, and he finally went to iTunes, dropped a review. I might want to go with him first.
Oh, I think I know which one that is. Go for it.
5-star review from his new username, Rebels from the UK. The best boxing media outlet the world has ever seen. They put out great content, give us hours of streaming media. Professional boxers, trainers, and promoters get caught in their feelings about what is said as they struggle to answer the questions and the truth. Regardless of what happens, never change the formula or style of the show. Keep up the good, consistent work. This is Blackface representing from Wolves, England. I'm off like a dirty shirt.
He's even got outros in his quotes, in his text, right? I've got another one here. It's titled "The Boxing Voice." Well, there you go. He titled it "The Boxing Voice Review."
Very professional.
No, this is cheap plug by @RoyalBrian Live. There you go. He wanted that said for sure, but I appreciate it. I will give @RoyalBrian Live another mention because he went to drop us a 5-star review, and he's doing his review, Matt, all the way from Australia. His iTunes name is Roy Dooms, so he's probably family with Doomsday. Who knows? But he says we love the Boxing
Voice. Best friend.
Yeah, right. He says we love the Boxing Voice podcast and YouTube show. Shout out to you for mentioning them both. Been enjoying it since Ness was hosting the show from his bed. Shout out to you for deserving a shirt saying you've been listening to this crap for 5 or 6 years now. All the way to the great interviews at the MGM. The hosts and callers alike are our kind of people. Passionate, hardworking, authentic. Long live boxing and long live the Boxing Voice. Thumbs up @RoyalBrian Live. So we're going to get to a few more, but first we're going to get to some calls. We're going to try and get to Amin since he's an alumni. We want to give him a second shot. Amin, are you ready or what? Call him sleepy time face. Call him
Damn.
Call him
Poor
to
Amin.
Quill. We're going to Kansas City, Mac. Talk to me.
Yo, how y'all guys doing?
All right.
First and foremost, I always got to pay homage. Thank y'all so much. Yeah, Wilder. No, hold on. I got to talk about Joshua. You got to give homage to him too. He did beat Klitschko. He's legendary. Did what he was supposed to do. But them London guys, after y'all bubble up, y'all get so hot. Y'all don't know how to act. This is America. I hate to make it America countries versus country, but Wilder's going to do his thing. Y'all still got to worry about Ortiz. He's coming too. The real King Kong. Parker, that belt's getting taken. Wilder's going to eat him up. So they can just go ahead and just label him. Wilder can go ahead and he can go ahead. Yeah. He can go ahead and go get Tyson Fury because he's been laid off. So that would be cookies and cream, whatever. Stay away from Wilder. He's prime and ready. He's staying active, eating them tomato cans. We call them spinach. He's just getting stronger. So we can go ahead. I can go ahead and say all y'all want to say. Prolong it. The inevitable. Wilder's coming. He will be crowned, unified, undisputed. You can compare Joshua to Muhammad Ali. Nice amateur. But he did go down. Has Wilder ever hit the canvas? I
believe so. Someone named
Yes, he has once.
Skanders or something like that put him down early in his career.
Okay, all right. Well, I guess I didn't do my homework. I eat crow on that.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, we're all entitled to mistakes.
Yeah. So, but hey, Wilder, like I said before, he still needs to tighten up. I'm not just gonna say he's just perfect fighter? Is it really a perfect fighter? But I'm going with Wilder, and I will eat crow until it's been proven. Until it's been proven, I'm going with Wilder. It's sexy, it's beautiful. We can build it up as a super fight or as a mega fight. It's intriguing. It's very intriguing. I'm happy with the heavyweight. I'm glad it's at this level again. Joshua with 90,000 in Wimbledon. He put heavyweight back where it needs to be. Hopefully, it can stay like that. Thank you again. I'm done.
Verge, how's camp with Ward, man? Everything's going good over there or what?
Also, well, since you asked, Ward, Bevy, what's that guy that called out Wilder? Ward can beat that guy. Ward needs to
Who, Bellew? Belly, hey, yo,
yeah,
didn't
Ward
Ward
beat that guy?
Didn't Ward beat him already in Creed? Nah, that was...
Yeah, that's right. Nah, it was Apollo's son. It was no. He took him to 12 rounds in that movie. I think that's what it was. No, I don't want to hear about that guy, man. Wilder gonna eat him up.
All right, brother. Kansas City,
wild.
man. He is still wild, man. He got to get it together.
Unorthodox. He's unorthodox. That's what it is. Joshua's too robotic. Come on, Joshua. Come get you some. Klitschko.
Well, all right, brother. Thanks for calling in. Kansas City, Mac. We're going to go out to Paul from Stockton.
Hey, Ness. What's up? How you guys doing? Just wanted to say, first of all, I want to echo what Robert Ortiz and a couple other guys said. We're already moving on to the next fight. We don't even appreciate what happened last night. That was an amazing fight. That's, I think, what we've all been waiting for. Secondly, I just wanted to talk about the roadblocks that you keep mentioning, Ness. It's totally true. Wilder can't win, right? Like, no one will fight him, and then everyone says he only fights, bums. But it's like he's willing to put him in the ring with Joshua. And really, it's kind of a crazy argument considering everyone's like, what's Wilder done to deserve to get in the ring with Joshua? Who did Joshua beat before he got in the ring with Klitschko? He got in there with Charles Martin, Dominique Brazil, Eric Molina. Like, are those guys really any better than what Wilder has fought? I don't think so. So I really want to see that fight, and I really hope that that's the next fight. I don't want to wait around. I'm sure there will be another fight in between, but I don't see why they wouldn't make that a high priority right now. I think that that's the fight to make. And if you can't sell like two undefeated guys with one bout that didn't end in a knockout between them, come on, that's crazy. And if you can give $5 million to Charles Martin to fight Anthony Joshua, I'm sure you can sell a fight between Wilder and Joshua over in England. So anyway, that's my call. Thanks, guys.
Thank you for calling in, my friend. Let me get to some other callers here. We got some alumni. It's my man Compa, man. I'm all over the place. Compa. Another sleepy time over there. Uh-oh. All right. Then we're going to JP in Long Beach.
Long Beach in the house. Yeah.
Hey, I got to give a shout out and first start by giving a shout.
Yo, JP, how about you talking to the phone or not be on speakerphone?
Yo, kudos to the captain, Nestor Gibbs, man. Why? Because he went out on that island early, endured all the guys saying he's doing weird things to Deontay Wilder's genitalia, being called a ball washer. Why? now could we say maybe Nestor Gibbs, after all this time, was a visionary? Because I think what's happening is people saw the fight yesterday and said, man, maybe Wilder could beat AJ and Klitschko. That's exactly what happened. But I just want to start by like saying, dude, the production in that place, dude, had, I'm sure Vince McMahon was somewhere like, shit, I have to step my game up. It was like a Lady Gaga concert. So I would love to see the fight be over there. Another thing I wanted to get in is like the difference in the 10 pounds of them dudes. Vlad was 240 and AJ was 250, but I mean, it was a massive difference in how much more massive AJ was than Wladimir. And I think that's an issue. That's why you see him gas so fast. I wanted to get you guys quickly to get some takes on what do you think it was that AJ was saying to Vlad in those rounds where AJ was hurt. And I could have swore, he was going to drop AJ. But it seemed AJ kept talking to him. He kept talking to him. Now, everybody could say that's the sense, the false bravado. But I just wonder what he was actually saying to him.
When we were doing the live chat, JP, I even made note of that while we were watching it. And I thought he said, I'm still here. Like, I'm still here. I'm still here. Like, you can hit me. I'm hurt, but I'm still here. I think that's what he said. I'm not a lip reader, but that's what it looked like, to me at least.
Okay, for sure, man. And I don't want to hear nothing about Vlad being old. One thing guys can always do, especially a all-time great like Klitschko, is they can throw that 1-2. And we've seen George Foreman at, I believe, 48 years old do it to Michael Moore. And so that when that thing drops, and that's where I do agree with Scorsese. Vlad landed a sharp ass right hand in about the third round. And AJ took that shit. So I don't think Wilder's right hand the first time it lands is just going to decapitate that guy. That guy can take a punch. Another thing, if Vlad could have wrote that story, if you say, hey, Vlad, you're going to get AJ in the 11th round and you're going to have won the past 4 rounds and you have knocked him down in earlier rounds, he'd have took that story with a smile. The only thing was the guy fucking did what we want all our rising stars to do. He stepped the fuck up. He gutted it out. That's what we ask of guys. So don't discredit him in any way. He did what we asked them to do. And we should be happy we had the opportunity to see somebody do this, because rarely do we get to see the torch being passed per se. In this fashion at a high level, we've seen a good Wladimir Klitschko, who to me had more spring and spry in his legs than I've seen in years. This is the best Vlad I ever seen, being far more offensive. Another thing you've seen, guys are willing to take who's going to be the slick fighter in the fight. This is why I think Wilder can win, because we've seen Vlad become the slick fighter in this fight, which we never seen, where Vlad was kind of the guy with his hands down, kind of leading and dictating when and where he was going to attack from. And we see Wilder box off his back foot against AJ. I think we could see that, and we could say definitely that Wilder is more athletic and more better off that back foot and being a slicker guy than Vlad would be. So it would be a very interesting fight. It's intriguing. It's sexy. Should it build or not? Fuck it. Why not? I feel you, Ness, but sometimes in the climate we've had in the heavyweight division for so long, I think this is just good. It's a good storyline, and boxing's about storyline. I like to call it a male soap opera. So let's build it up a little bit, bring it maybe next year, man. It'll be a spectacle over there in England. That's my thought.
All right, JP in Long Beach.
Long Branch.
I'm thinking in Long Branch over here. We got a Long Branch, New Jersey, yo. We tried to copy, I guess. I don't know. I'm not from over there down south. But speaking of down south, let's go a little further to Nick in Alabama. What's up?
Oh, yo, hold on. Let me get off speaker. Yo, y'all hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right. It was a good fight yesterday. AJ showed what he needs. He got he got took the hell and back, really, because he was spitting out his mouthpiece. Like, it looked like he didn't want to keep going at certain times, but he bit down and he did what he needed to do. I give Wilder a good chance against AJ. I think everybody agrees that that's a closer fight now in people's eyes. Wilder goes to the body more than Klitschko does. So if that was Wilder in there going to the body, because Klitschko didn't go to the body when he hurt AJ. If Wilder went to the body, or if Klitschko went to the body, my bad, we don't know what would have happened. So I think that the fight should marinate. I think Wilder should get that Joseph Parker fight, to be honest, so he can get 2 belts and make the fight bigger. I think that the fight is going to happen in the U.S. Eddie Hearn already said that he wants that fight to happen in MSG. He said it in an interview. I can't remember which interview it was, but I know for a fact he said it. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Nick,
but that was a good fight yesterday. It was a great fight, man. I like AJ a lot. What's up?
No, I thought you said that was it. I was gonna say goodbye.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, Nick. Well, thanks for calling in as always. Let's get to some more callers, obviously.
Yo, first of all, let me say, I don't pay Showtime to see you all there not even putting in a goddamn motherfucking effort. If I want to see some motherfucker just fight, I pick up a fight with somebody in the street. Don't need that shit. You don't love that sport, my dude? Just move along. Gone. Fuck you. Next. What a great show. Come stop, donate.
Yo.
Yo, what's up, brother?
Yo.
Clock is ticking.
Poppin', B. Listen, brother, let me disrespect Josecita from Canada real quick. Take fucking 30 seconds to put this nigga on his fucking place. Doggy, I didn't never donate in this motherfucker. No boomerang, no ringer, no fucking none of that shit.
Bro, we ain't got time for that shit, bro. We talking boxing. 504 Max and AC, talk to me.
Yo, how y'all doing?
What's up, brother? Talk to me.
Hey. All right, man. I just wanted to put some things into perspective because I heard a couple of callers' opinion about what went on this weekend and all the events that's proceeding it. I gotta say, man, they was just shooting a bunch of blanks. Now let me clarify my stance. Number one, by far, Anthony Joshua has proven that he's the goods of the heavyweight division. So we all have to pay our respects and pay homage to this man and whatever decision he makes going forward after a performance like that. That's number one. Number two, Wladimir Klitschko proved, well, I guess you could say he kind of proved a lot of us wrong to show, true determination, grit, and all that other good stuff to describe him. But at the end of the day, I don't see Anthony Joshua and Klitschko rematch because that fight took a lot out of Klitschko. People are saying that, Klitschko, that the fight was stopped early and blah, blah, blah. To be honest with you, man, I thought Klitschko was fucking dying in the ring. You know what I mean? Like, this dude was taking some vicious shots. He wasn't stable on his feet. And the referee obviously saw the same thing and gave him all that time. Let me say something about that dumbass referee before I move on and touch on to the topic. Doesn't that referee look just like Mario off of Mike Tyson Punch Out from Nintendo, but the black version? He looked like a real goofy dude, you know what I'm saying? And he kind of just threw me off with all the extra time he was giving Klitschko, you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, moving forward, I gotta say that Wilder, he's in a tough position. And I'm gonna say this, guys, that the squeaking wheel gets the grease. You know what I'm saying? Like, Wilder is just out here, balking up everybody's street, trying to, bring notoriety and a name to himself. That's why he's belt chasing, because he knows The only way he can get that fight with Anthony Joshua is if he gains more leverage. And the only leverage he can get right now is by getting another belt. And that's something that I do agree with a lot of the callers, that Joshua does need, Wilder does need Parker to unify that belt. But then again, I'm looking at the big picture, and the only reason why
90 seconds.
Everybody did with Tyson Fury, I mean that's home cooking. You know what I'm saying? They both.
Max, you're swinging after the bell, Max. You're swinging after the bell. And it's Max AC from New Orleans, not Max from AC. I fucked that all up. We're going to go to 985, first time calling in. Is this a first time caller? Who's this?
60 seconds.
Man, you got grease in your hands?
Yeah, I'm not a first time caller. It's just been a while since I called in.
So what's the name, brother? Where you calling in from?
Home, Louisiana.
From where?
Yeah, last night that was the best heavyweight fight I've seen in a while.
Yo,
no, can you repeat your name and where you're from, please?
Thank you.
John Wolf from home, Louisiana.
John Wolf from Louisiana?
Yeah.
All right, brother. So what you think of last night's fight?
The best heavyweight fight I've seen in a while. I think
10 seconds.
Okay, just to close out that storyline by beating the guy that first beat Klitschko and solidify that win while Deontay Wilder goes and gets Parker's belt. And then we can, I think the fight between them will be bigger if it's to unify the division. And then maybe whoever wins out of that fight, Ortiz after that. And maybe while all that's going on, Ortiz can put Brazil out of his misery, because I haven't seen Dominique Brazil look good at all in a fight. I honestly believe you could beat him this.
That I could be who?
Yeah, Brazil.
Nah, man, Brazil's a tough motherfucker. You ain't see all them shots he took from Mizuno, get up and knock him still out? And he did it to Amir Mansour now. Look, at this point, we got to start respecting Brazil.
Yeah,
I just never liked his body, feel me? I would like my fighters to look more like fighters. But, hey, man, he's got the heart of a fighter for sure.
Yeah, he got lucky in that Mansour fight. If Mansour hadn't bit his tongue or whatever, Mansour would have knocked him out. Yeah, well, that's my call.
All right, John. Well, thanks for calling in, brother, all the way from Louisiana. We thank you for calling in. We're going to go from Louisiana to the 919-937. Who's this? First time calling in?
Peace, yes. First time calling in. I have a YouTube channel, Left Side of the Brain.
Hold on a minute, bud. Hold on a minute. Hold on a minute. Dropping some cheap plugs.
Yes.
How long have you been listening, brother?
I've been listening to the channel for a while now.
No exact number.
And hello?
No exact number. All right, well, we got some tradition around here, brother. We like to play this first time caller intro, and then you go ahead and let the world know your name and where you're calling in from. Is that okay?
Sure.
Let's do it.
Ladies and gentlemen, making his professional debut.
Yeah, this is I go by the God of None, calling from the Delaware area. And I saw the fight, and I had a little contention with a lot of the comments. I went to like various videos, and I saw a lot of comments and people saying stuff like, Anthony Joshua, he beat an old, washed-up fighter. I'm like, a 41-year-old boxing athlete is not the same as your everyday 41-year-old who's drinking beer, not exercising. So I believe the fight was even when you look at the youth of Anthony Joshua and his inexperience versus a veteran fighter. And most of these people who really don't know about boxing, they putting Klitschko's age as a reason why Joshua won. but they failing to realize that boxing is 90% mental and 10% physical. So when he's in there with a Klitschko, a well-seasoned fighter, and Mike Tyson said it himself, boxing is mental. So I'm saying, like, props to Anthony Joshua, and I see him doing big things in the future. And far as his size, I heard you all talking about his size. I think that's to his advantage because, like they say, if the wheel isn't broken, why fix it? Because I hear a lot of boxing people, I mean, amateur, boxing analysts, they say stuff like on YouTube, they have videos where they saying this video is exposing Deontay Wilder, like in the fight, his last fight. But I'm saying to myself, how is this exposing a fighter who just put a man on the canvas? It don't make no sense. But I understand that most of these people are saying is they never been in a boxing ring like I have. They never trained. So my thing is, however you win a fight, at the end of the 12th round when the bell ring, if you won, you had a good fight. I mean, if you look at what they're saying, and if you take it what they're saying, then basically it's like this. If I was on a losing basketball team and I beat the other team with a buzzer beater, and then you'll have somebody say, well, the only reason why they beat is because he hit the shot at the last second. It doesn't make no sense. Like, my thing is, like, if a boxer is winning, whatever he does to win, it's all gravy. But that's all I really wanted to say.
All right, brother. Well, thank you for calling in. We totally appreciate it. Let me get to some alumni callers.
It's Baltimore, gentlemen. The gods will not save you.
Yeah, what's going on, man? We right now, man, we got too many can you hear me now? Hello?
We hear you, brother.
Hello? Yeah, sorry about that. I just heard a quiet silence out here. Now, we got too many guys in this fucking they want to be the promoter. They want to be the matchmaker. They want to be the shut up, man. For God's sake, man, just let them fight back, man.
Bye, Wood.
Wood.
Get a better phone.
Wood, you have a very bad connection, brother. That is sad that happens over and over with you. Are you there? Wood?
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah. Can you hear me now, yo?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, we hear you, brother.
Yeah, man. Yeah. These guys need to let Wilder already got the goddamn belt. Y'all just need to let him. He don't got nothing else to prove. He got the belt. So he had the belt for over a year. Defended it a couple of times. Let the nigga go out there and fight Anthony Joshua if the fight happened. And these niggas feel some type of way about it, man. They can go suck a dick, man. The fight can happen, man. The fight will be a big fight, man. Don't let
Wood, you're gonna have to go back and listen to the playback, brother. Get a better phone. I'm sorry, we got to move it on. We're going to Gabe in Salt Lake City. What's going on, Gabe?
Yo, what's going on, guys? Man, that fight yesterday, I just want to give boxing 2017 a round of applause, man. Boxing, I feel, has kind of gone up to that upper echelon this year, almost surpassing MMA as a combat sport to watch. Man, that fight yesterday, I felt brought boxing back into the spotlight. I think some other shows, somebody referred it to the Mayweather-Pacquiao of the UK. Totally agree, but it actually lived up to the hype. Man, the fifth round is just, I think, legendary.
Gabe, you're breaking up.
Deontay Wilder stuff. Am I breaking up?
Yeah, you broke up there.
I don't know. All right. But yeah, going to the Deontay Wilder. I don't know if you guys can hear me, but going to the
I got you.
Wilder. I think if that fight does happen, it has to happen at in New York City. Even though a lot of people say it should happen in London, but I think doing it in New York, enough people from the UK will make the trip out. I think a guy at yesterday's show said, if Ricky Hatton brought 30,000, I think AJ's way bigger than Ricky Hatton. Easily bring out about 40,000 himself, and
I'm sorry, but your connection was going bad right there. Sorry, brother. 917, Sean Dew from New York, I believe. New Jersey.
Yo. What's good, man? What's good, Ness? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
All right, there was one thing I wanted to ask you guys that I don't know if anybody asked you guys yet, which is, if this fight does happen, where does Deontay's right hand, his broken right hand, lie in this fight? If that happens, what happens to Deontay Wilder?
Well, if he breaks his hand, he probably loses.
Well, that's the thing. We saw him, fight with one hand at one point for a little bit until he knocked the guy out. Now, we haven't seen Deontay, go through what he went through.
Sean Dew, you're cutting out.
Might be a blog talk thing because it's starting to become
blog talk.
Starting to become a caller after caller. But keep going, Sean Dew. We got you.
Yeah, we got you. You sound better now.
I would just. All right, cool. It's probably you guys though. It was happening over and over, but nobody has seen Wilder go through adversity like Joshua did, and that's what I think everybody wants to see. I mean, with the experience that Wladimir Klitschko has and Joshua beating him, I think he learned more in that one fight than most fighters do in their whole career, and that's why everybody's so high on him right now. But if that fight happens, Deontay Wilder has to do some things to change, and so does Anthony Joshua. And if that happens, then it's going to end up being a great fight. And I don't see him fighting Tony Bellew in the future. I'd rather see him fight someone like
Sean Dew, you're cutting out. Probably a blog talk issue. I'm sorry about it, but we're going to keep going on because we're almost wrapping it up.
757, you're up.
Hello?
What's up?
Can you hear me? Yeah,
yes, sir.
This is Dorset Barnwell. I'm actually a fighter who's been in camp with Deontay and Klitschko and Anthony Joshua, Tyson Fury, all of them. And I've seen all of these guys. And Deontay Wilder, his power is, I think it overrides all of them. Klitschko is the second up because he's sharper than Deontay, but when it comes to natural strength and natural power, this man, he got freakish power, and he's deceivingly, like, I'm a speed fighter, and he's deceivingly, his defense is underrated to me. His defense is underrated to me because Deontay is not at all an easy target to hit. The man is just natural, just a natural athlete. When I went down there to his house in Alabama, he's hitting windmills and shit like that on the basketball court. First of all, if Deontay would have dropped Klitschko like Anthony Joshua did the first time, that would have been the end of that fight. And if Deontay would have dropped Anthony like Klitschko did, that would have been the end of that fight. One thing you can say about Deontay, once he smells blood, that's the end of that damn fight. That's the end. That's the end of the fight. Every time that this man hurt somebody, the fight was over in the next 30 seconds. And usually, you gotta recognize the comparisons of the power. Anthony Joshua, he's dropping people off for accumulation of punches. He's getting TKOs. There's no way in hell you saw the fight between Anthony Joshua and Dominique Breazeale. Even though I was in the Povetkin camp with Dominique Breazeale, and Povetkin was beating the hell out of him. But if Deontay would have hit Anthony Joshua, hit Dominique Breazeale with that many punches, ain't no way in hell he would have stayed up that whole fight. As long as he did with Anthony Joshua. And Anthony Joshua, he throws more combinations than Deontay, but it's not coming with it's not coming with the same amount of force. He's going to get hit by Deontay, and what he's proven that he can take a shot, but he will be taking a shot. He will not be taking consistent punches from Deontay, because if Klitschko can hurt him, I believe that Deontay will stop him, because Deontay he doesn't hesitate with his punches. I wouldn't even call it he throws way more punches than Klitschko, and he takes weight. He probably get hit more than Klitschko, but you have to respect that man's power, and if you don't, your ass is you're gonna go to sleep, and that's the bottom line with that. Deontay's he's a cool dude outside the ring, so is AJ, but once they get in that ring, that's a completely different animal. That motherfucker goes for like that last fight. People say, he was getting his ass whipped and all of that. First of all, a couple of jabs here and there. Even though he was winning, Gerald Washington was winning the fight off a couple of jabs here and there. It's not like he was beating the hell out. Deontay just wasn't throwing any punches. But the fight before, he had ripped his tricep and broke a finger, so he was hesitant on throwing that punch. And the first time he did, that's the thing about Deontay. Anthony Joshua can whip his ass for 11 minutes and 11 rounds with only 15 seconds left. But as long as there's 15 seconds left in that fight, he got a chance at winning the whole thing, just like he's been winning by knockout.
Listen, thank you for calling in. Matt, you got him down?
No, I didn't. Can we go back to him very fast? 'Cause I didn't get the name.
Damn. 757, what's the name?
It's Dorset Barnwell.
Dorset Barnwell. Actually a fighter. All right, brother. Thank you for calling in, man. We truly appreciate it. It's always special when the fighters start to call in. Very amazing. Always a humbling moment for sure. Yeah. So, final thoughts. This is why I love this platform. Hopefully everyone made it from the beginning to the end, but this is what this is. It's a gigantic boxing discussion. And after listening to 3 hours of callers from around the world, Matt, I'm going to say Anthony Joshua deserves to do whatever he wants to do next, whether that is a rematch or a soft fight. He was in a great back and forth action fight with Wladimir Klitschko. He touched the canvas. He knocked out Wladimir. He got up off the canvas. So, yeah, I mean, whatever, man. Give him what's the easiest touch next?
Pulev. Come on. Pulev is the easiest touch, hands down.
Why do you say that, though? I thought Pulev was considered dangerous until we seen Wladimir check hook him, and then, I mean, it's
always a game of the young sharks, the young lions. We have Parker who's hitting his prime. We have Wilder who's in his prime.
I don't know if I'm going to consider Pulev an easy fight. I would say give him an easier fight.
I'm not saying he's an easy fight. I'm saying he's the easier fight out of Ortiz, Wilder, and Parker.
I'm saying give him an easier fight than that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So like what? So like what then?
He's on that level now, right? Because he's got to rest up, get a good fight, and then get a bigger fight later on this year. Because if not, what is it going to be? You know what I mean? So that's my final thoughts. Like, yo, if he wants a soft touch in between his next fight being Fury or whoever he decides, that's cool. It's cool because everybody's right, dude. He's got 19 fights, man. He's got 19 fights. You know, I was watching the face-off with Max Kellerman and Canelo out, and yo, Canelo said it, bro. I'm 26. I'm 26, man. And I've done what I've done. I've been in the ring with who I've been in, and you can't take that away from these guys. And yo, Joshua, he's as old as Canelo, but in fights, he's a pup. He's only got 19 of them, and he's done what he's done. He quickly became in one day the face of boxing because the heavyweight division is the glamour division. It's the division that brings all the casual fans back out and make them turn on the television. This was a fight that was telecast on 2 premium networks, 2 separate times. You know, Germany, Kazakhstan. Oh no, he said Ukraine, right? Germany and the
No. Kazakhstan. No, Ukraine. My bad.
Ukraine. It was Ukraine, Germany, UK, and both over here in America. So man, look, my final thoughts: the kid did what he had to do. He's the star of one of the faces of boxing. I know me and Matt were having an off-air conversation. Put that in the comments. Who's bigger, Canelo or Joshua? I still say Canelo's bigger. He's doing bigger numbers. You know, in terms of our own personal metrics and analytics here on the Boxing Voice, things that we do, the tweaks that we get to see.
Yes.
And also just pay-per-view numbers in general. He's selling more.
But AJ is, I mean, right on his heels. I mean,
yeah, but AJ pay-per-view is a little cheaper. You know, it's like every one Canelo pay-per-view is maybe 2 or 3 AJs.
But then I was mainly referring to like our metrics, like our videos. Like we did a Canelo Chavez video that barely scratched a lot, and then we do AJ on anything. He always does big numbers for us personally. So I just feel like he's becoming the biggest star of boxing. He may not be the biggest star of boxing today,
but that's
12 months from now, 24 months from now, yeah, he will be.
That's totally an all-fair discussion, but a bad choice of metrics by Matt, because if that's the case, Canelo holds the ranking with one of the highest.
No, he does. That's why he ranked the highest.
So you're wrong.
I said he was the highest, but I'm saying that AJ is right on his heels. AJ is coming up.
Maybe. No, definitely.
Yeah, come on.
Definitely.
Like,
no.
Like who's a bigger star than AJ? Like who's nobody, right? Other than Canelo.
Nobody but Canelo. But listen, I am Nestor Gibbs. I am your host. Catch me on Instagram and Twitter at NestGTO. But don't forget to catch my co-host and co-producer at.
You can find me at Mixed Combat News on Twitter and my new Instagram at Matt Hunter TBV. And you can find my MMA podcast, Mixed Combat Radio, on Patreon, SoundCloud, iTunes, YouTube, etc. Peace.
If you made it this far, we'll probably be back with a 12 p.m. noon show tomorrow, Eastern time. Goodbye.